running game. Perhaps you think back to another playoff game, won in frigid conditions in a Super Bowl season. But that was over a decade ago when your head coach was still in his playing days. If you're the Buffalo Bills, you try to think of the weather as an ally. You remember that you've prevailed in the past under similar brutal conditions. But still, you must find a way to endure when the temperature leaves you numb. It's true that the Raiders and Bills will compete today to advance in the playoffs. But a third opponent, the bitter cold, may ultimately decide the outcome. It is a bitter cold 0-degree day at Rich Stadium in Buffalo. The wind chill factor -25. Snow removal crews have worked 14 to 16-hour days throughout the week, removing snow from the stands and fields that had built up to 3 feet high. It has snowed in the Buffalo area for 28 of the last 29 days. And the Raiders have come here from Southern California packing gloves and ski masks, thermal underwear, and overcoats. That's the setting for this AFC Divisional playoff game, matching the Los Angeles Raiders and the Buffalo Bills. Hi, everybody. Marv Albert, along with a very chilly Paul McGuire. Now, Paul, in light of the awful weather conditions, I would think it appears that the running game could dictate the outcome, which should mean we'll see quite a bit of Thurman Thomas, the All-Pro, who once again led the AFC in rushing, and Napoleon McCallum of the Raiders, who comes off a career day against Denver.
Well, when you talk about Thurman Thomas, the Bills, no matter what the weather is, they like to get the ball to Thurman running the football and throwing the ball. So we're going to see today, I think, a lot of screens, a lot of draws, because the Raiders are susceptible to screens and draws. The other thing with Napoleon McCallum, I agree with O.J. Simpson. He runs flat-footed. He's not an extremely fast human being, but he gets the job done, and on the field like this, he'll be perfect.
Now, what other factors do you see playing a role in these conditions?
The kicking game. I think there's just no question about it. The footing is bad. They're kicking to win. The ball is heavier. They don't kick it as far. And the most important thing, though, is when you receive a punt or a kickoff, make sure they hold on to the football. Turnovers on special teams are going to determine the winner of this football game.
Well, the Raiders have won the toss, and they will receive. If the Bills win, they would host the winner of tomorrow's Kansas City-Houston divisional playoff. If the Raiders win, they travel to the winner of the Kansas City-Houston game. Head coach Marv Levy, who appears to be ready for the adverse weather conditions. Buffalo Bills won their last 4 games after losing 2 in a row. The L.A. Raiders winning 5 of their last 6. And last Sunday, Raiders beat Denver in the wild card, advancing to today's divisional playoff game. Rocket Ismail and Willie Goff are back deep. However, the short kick is taken by the backup center, Dan Turk. Mark Maddox may have recovered. The question is, will they call it that he was down?
The Raiders' offense is on the field. Obviously, they believe he's down, but you just, the up man alignment, you don't ever field the ball. If you do, you turn around and you lateral the ball to the running back or whoever's back there. You don't carry the ball. Red Cashin down by contact. And I believe it was number 67, Turk. Yeah, the captain of the special teams. So watch this. If you're going to do this, when you go into the crowd, just get down. Now, the question is, does the ball come out? He is on the ground, then the ball comes out. It's stripped out afterwards. Maddox does it. This is an excellent call by the official. But Turk, first of all, should have never returned the ball.
And so the Raiders go to the offense as Hostetler hands to Tyrone Montgomery. Cornelius Bennett on the tackle. A look at that Raider offensive line. Perry, Wisniewski, Mosbar, Montoya, and Wilkerson. Steve Wisniewski making it to the Pro Bowl. He and Bruce Smith have had a little feud going. The quarterback is Jeff Hostetler. Napoleon McCallum and Tyrone Montgomery, the running backs. Wright and Brown, the receivers. The tight end, Ethan Horton. It's a second down and 9. James Jett comes in when they go 3 wideouts along with the single running back, Nick Bell. And Hostetler could not find anyone and runs it out at the marker.
He ran over and sat down on the bench next to Steve Tasker. Got a little warm, came back out. Run out of bounds by Darryl Talley. Hostetler looks downfield real quick. You see the footing is not that great for the defensive guys. Cornelius Bennett going down, and then Hostetler takes off. He does get the first down. Darryl Talley, 56, chasing him out, and then Hostetler runs over and sits down next to Tasker. Hello, Steve. How are you? I see you. Good to see you today. How's the weather?
Well, Hostetler picked up 11. And it is a first down for the Raiders at their 45-yard line. We're just underway in Buffalo. Montgomery. Tyrone Montgomery, a first-year player out of Mississippi, starting for the injured rookie Greg Robinson. Phil Hansen and Marcus Patton made the stop. Hansen, Wright, and Smith up front. Bennett with Patton. Goganius for Mark Maddox, who will see quite a bit of action, and Darryl Talley. We'll check out the secondary in a moment. It's a second down and 6 out of midfield. And there is Bruce Smith, 13.5 sacks during the regular season, finishing second to Neil Smith of Kansas City. Montgomery took a shot. He was stacked up. Phil Hansen, number 90, involved in the tackle of Tyrone Montgomery.
The one thing I'm liking about Tyrone Montgomery in this game so far, that first play he ran when he went to the right, he cut it back up when he saw the hole. This time, they are attacking the hole. They're not fooling around the backfield trying to get a position. They're going right at the hole.
It's a third down and 4. The Raiders have stayed on the ground to this point. Nick Bell has replaced Tyrone Montgomery. 2.5 minutes gone by. 81, Tim Brown in motion. Hostetler could not find anyone and slides looking for the first down.
He doesn't get it. He has to get to the 45-yard line, and Hostetler gets to the 40, actually 46.5-yard line. He never gets there. He slides a little bit too soon. He does the smart thing. He looks downfield. Pass protection's not too bad. Jeff Wright, number 91, is in his face, and then he goes down. Bruce Smith makes the tackle. They're about 1.5 yards short. They're going to have to punt.
So the punting unit comes on. Jeff Gossett, in his 12th year out of Easton, Illinois, averaging just under 42 yards per punt. And he will boot it to the rookie from Memphis State, Russell Copeland, who is back at his 10-yard line. And Copeland lets it go. Nice hop for the Raiders. It will be spotted at about the 5. It's a 41-yard punt. And Buffalo will go to the offense when we come back. Well, the Los Angeles Raiders certainly not delighted to be playing in the cold weather. They have played twice in cold weather this season and lost both games. This touchdown run by Eric Ball helped the Bengals beat the Raiders 13-10 in the cold of Cincinnati back in November. And then 3 weeks ago in Green Bay, Brett Favre hit Sterling Sharp with this touchdown pass. The Packers shutting out the Raiders 28-0. Cincinnati's first win of the season. The Bengals at the time were 0-10. Although Art Shell tells his players, or tells us, that, hey, it really has no bearing. Of course, the mind game certainly does. So Buffalo starts out from the 5 with Thurman Thomas. Nolan Harrison, the right defensive tackle, made the stop. A look at the offensive line. John Phoenix, Len Parker for Jim Richard, who has had severe shoulder problems. Ken Hull at center. John Davis, Howard Ballard playing despite an injured ankle. In the K-gun, Kelly with Thomas and Brooks, Beebe, and Reed, the tight end Metzelaars, who has had a career season. That's Andre Reed, who was hit down as he crossed the 10. He was stopped by Pro Bowler Terry McDaniel, the Raiders' left cornerback.
Andre Reed is coming short underneath, and Terry McDaniel is on him. He's covered. He's got a man-to-man. But remember, we talked about at the beginning, the short passes. Make sure your passes going downfield is going to be almost impossible.
It's a 3rd and 4. And again, a short pass dropped by Reed. And a penalty marker is down. Reed was covered again by McDaniel.
Well, the flag is back where there's holding against the Buffalo Bills. It'll be refused, and they're going to have to punt the ball.
That'll be declined. Holding number 74 in the offense. That penalty is declined. 4th down. 53-35.
All right, that's Glenn Parker called on the penalty. And Chris Moore will punt from his end zone. Tim Brown is back at midfield. Tim Brown averaged 11.5 yards per return. That was 3rd in the AFC. Line drive, short punt, took a high hop, and Brown fields it and runs it out. A 38-yard punt. No score with 10:26 remaining in this first quarter. Yes, a series of fine outfits to protect from the weather. And there's Bruce Smith, who has been vocal about being upset by what he feels have been dirty tactics by that man. Starting left guard, Pro Bowler Steve Wisniewski. Bruce not thrilled about the way things went in that earlier meeting here in Buffalo, won by the Raiders in a come-from-behind effort. Of course, Steve Wisniewski and the Los Angeles Raiders have other thoughts on that matter, and we will hear from both Bruce and head coach Art Shell discussing those tactics. Apparently they are working on the referee's microphone, which I can understand might be frozen at this point. And now Red Cashin indicating that all is all right. 10:26 remaining in this first quarter. No score. Marv Albert, Paul McGuire from Rich Stadium in Buffalo. Hostetler looking to throw, and it completes to Montgomery. Tyrone Montgomery gets inside the 30. He goes for 20 yards, taken down by Keith Goganius.
This is an example of how much they fear the wide receivers of the Raiders. When you take a look at Montgomery, number 21, come out, there's absolutely nobody around him, not even a linebacker. Look at this. Montgomery, now watch the yardage he picks up before you even see anybody. It's about 15 yards, and then finally Goganius comes in. But they're respecting the wide receiver so much, they cannot forget about the backs coming out of the backfield.
First pass thrown by Jeff Hostetler, who has been the NFL's hottest quarterback in recent weeks. Now to the ground, McCallum. Stopped by the nose tackle, Jeff Wright. Napoleon McCallum with his first carry, taking for 5. Last week he scored 3 touchdowns, ran for a season-high 81 yards. This only 6 weeks after laying in a hospital bed undergoing an appendectomy. The former Navy lieutenant Napoleon McCallum has emerged. He was primarily a special teams guy in the past.
And he loves his new role. We're talking to him yesterday, and he said, I just love it. He didn't expect it to be this bigger role, but he's accepting it.
Second down and 5 from the 24. Montgomery is hit out of bounds by the strong safety, Henry Jones.
This is great force by Henry Jones, number 20, coming up on Montgomery. McCallum gets a block on Darryl Talley, number 56. You'll see 41 on the right of your screen comes out. They hook up Darryl Talley to the inside. But the guy that makes the play is the safety. Look at Jones, number 20. Gets his head up, his shoulders square. Montgomery can't pick up the first down. It's 3rd down and about 2.5.
The ball at the Buffalo 22-yard line.
And believe me, no field goals today will be automatic.
Nick Bell now in the Raider backfield as the lone deep back. Hostetler had the ball knocked out of his hand. It is still loose. The Raiders have recovered. Bruce Smith with the strip Jeff Hostetler, but the Raiders able to cover up.
Bruce Smith, everyone knows that you've got to put at least 2 people on Bruce Smith. He's going to come back on the outside on Perry here. He just goes inside of Perry. They try to grab him as he goes through. Wisniewski, he doesn't get a hold of him. Bruce Smith makes the play, but it's very hard to get the ball. Here's Bruce Smith on the outside. He'll go inside of Perry, number 71. Then Wisniewski sees no one on him, tries to get Bruce, force him outside, and he comes around. What a sensational play.
A 47-yard attempt by Jeff Jaeger. So the game remains scoreless.
All right, here's the kick. Gossett's the holder. Now, everything works out fine here. Gossett gets the ball down, and the way it looks like this ball is going to be absolutely perfect coming off his foot. Watch how the ball comes off. It's like kicking a rock. Watch this. There is no rotation in the ball. It goes directly left, and it goes to about right inside the goal line. Not even close.
And Jaeger had a terrific season. Led the NFL with 132 points. That's 35 field goals, but that one way off. It is very difficult kicking in these conditions. Buffalo takes over, just under 8 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Thurman Thomas with a short pickup. Howie Long involved on the tackle. Howie Long, who recently celebrated his 34th birthday, 7-time Pro Bowl selection, picked as an alternate this season. 2nd down and 6. Kelly on the swing. Thomas can't find the room. And he is run out by Mike Jones.
I'll tell you, there's a great case of holding. I mean, Townsend couldn't get away from Ballard, even if he tried. I mean, look at, you see Townsend with the referee. He tried everything to get away from Ballard. He read the screen, tried to turn. 93 at the bottom, 75 on your left. What's this? It's incredible that they let this go and don't throw a flag. Here's Townsend. Ballard's got him by the arm. He's trying to turn. He can't get away. He can't get away. Ballard just runs him right to the sideline.
3rd down and 6, and the first down is picked up as Kelly connected with Brooks. That's good for 16. Eddie Anderson up from free safety to make the stop on Bill Brooks, an ideal possession type receiver signed on Plan B from the Indianapolis Colts, and could play a major role on a day like this.
He's got great hands and great feet.
First down from midfield. And Thomas stopped by Anderson. Well, we just checked with the Weather Bureau. It is still 0 degrees here at Rich Stadium in Buffalo. The wind chill at -25. The forecast calling for flurries. And they say extreme cold, yes. And Kelly is hit down. Howie Long coming up with the sack of Jim Kelly.
And, when the quarterback is hitting this hard field, he's going to really feel it. Howie Long has a straight shot at Jim Kelly. Now the Bills look like they're going back into the huddle because it's 3rd and about 12. They are back in the huddle talking it over. Number 75, Howie Long, middle of your screen. Throws Davis away, takes a read around, gets with Nolan Harrison, and gets around and gets Kelly.
3rd down and 12. And again it's Brooks. Has the first down. Run out by Eddie Anderson.
Big difference when you have time. Now take a look at the offensive line. Excellent blocking up front. So Kelly just waits and waits, and here comes Brooks underneath. Everybody clears out. Brooks gets in front of the linebacker, and then Anderson has to make the play, but they get the first down inside the 40.
It's a 15-yard pickup. And Thomas hit for a loss on the play. That'll be a 2nd down and about 13. 5.5 remaining in this first quarter. The Bills and the Raiders in this AFC divisional playoff game. If the Bills win, they host the winner of tomorrow's Kansas City-Houston game as Kelly goes sideline, has the tight end Metzelar. Metzelar stopped by Lionel Washington and Mike Jones. If the Raiders win, they travel to the winner of the KC-Houston game.
Now this play really is by design. Metzelar comes out, Brooks clears out, and and he's working on actually a linebacker and the corner, Lionel Washington. But they do a good job. They pick up about 7 yards on the play.
It's a 3rd down and 4 down at the 33-yard line. Again, Metzelars. This time he is stacked up by Anderson. Again, Jones also involved. Pete Metzelars had a terrific season. 68 catches, a career high. He reemerged as the Bills' #1 tight end when Keith McKellar went down last year. And apparently they're going to go for it at the 4th down and 1 at the 30 as Harwell Gardner and Nate Turner check in, along with the double tight end combination of Metzelars and McKellar. This is the 10th play of the drive.
Again, you know, field goals are not automatic, and even though the Bills have the wind at their back, they have to go for it. Play action pass.
Kelly throwing. And that was behind Nate Turner.
Marv, he had Keith McKellar all alone downfield. Nobody covered McKellar. He went by Eddie Anderson, number 33, and he was wide open for the touchdown. Coming off the line, play action pass, a good call, and McKellar goes through. They throw the ball to the outside. Kelly looks at McKellar for a second, but the ball was thrown to Turner. I don't understand it.
And the Raiders take over at their 30.
Okay, here's McKellar, and watch when he goes down through that middle. He's wide open. We'll show it to you in a second. We got to go back to the play, and then we'll come back to this.
All right, 1st down at the 30. Montgomery trapped back behind the line. Tyrone Montgomery stopped by a charge of Bills led by Marcus Patton.
All right, we'll go back to McKellar. We already saw here he comes off the line. Now watch what happens here. We go down. We're going to freeze it. I'll tell you when and about right now. Hold it now. Here is McDaniel here. Here's Anderson, and here's McKellar all by himself. And all Kelly has to do is just lay it down the middle of the field. And he goes to Turner, which I don't understand because he's fresh coming off the bench. He's cold. Well, so is McKellar, actually.
Loss of 3. It'll be a 2nd and 13 back at the 27. Hostetler with a wide open man, the tight end, Ethan Horton. Ethan Horton was by himself.
They had a blitz on, the Buffalo Bills did, and no one covered Ethan Horton. Ethan Horton was here he is right here on the line. Watch when he comes off. They had a blitz on. Here comes Horton. There's nobody back there except Kelso. And Kelso's 20 yards downfield. He finally makes the stop, but they're inside the 40-yard line down to the 37.
A 35-yard pass play. Ethan Horton, a converted running back. Originally a #1 pick of the Kansas City Chiefs in his 7th year from North Carolina. And it's a 1st down at the 37. McCallum. And he stopped right at the line by Bruce Smith.
Go back just for a second to that Horton play. You know, Hostetler, what a great read. He read the blitz, he saw everything that was coming, and he had presence of mind to find his wide open tight end. Great play.
Jeff Hostetler has finished very strong. Came to the Raiders as a free agent in the offseason after 8 years with the Giants, which included guiding the Giants to a Super Bowl victory over the Buffalo Bills. Got caught up in that quarterback controversy with Phil Simms, who emerged this year as the starter and had a sensational campaign. Hostetler looking deep. Penalty flag is thrown. Hostetler runs for the 1st down, but let's check out the flag.
It looks like Max Montoya, number 65, was holding back in the backfield on Phil Hansen. It'll come back. The Raiders are using another tight end, John Duff, number 84. He had a tough time getting off the line of scrimmage.
Number 65 on the offense. 10 yards, still 2nd down.
That's Max Montoya, and he was holding, and he is right in here, and he was holding this guy right here, Phil Hansen. You'll see it here. Montoya, there's the block, and when he gets that arm outside and pulls him down, that's what the official sees, and it's right in front of the quarterback. They're all looking.
And Paul, the Raiders, the NFL's most penalized team during the regular season against Denver last week, 17 penalties. A new NFL single postseason game record, 27 combined. A new NFL playoff record. Minute 35 remaining in the 1st quarter. Hostetler with a pass Ethan Horton, nice catch, but way short of the first down. Mark Maddox made the hit on Horton.
Smith and Wisniewski, Wisniewski is number 76. Smith, obviously 78. And here Smith coming. There's Perry working on him. Now Perry takes him down on the ground. And he's the man that's working one-on-one. Marcus Patton, number 53, the linebacker for the Buffalo Bills, got through clean. But when Hostetler moved to his right, he just slipped and he fell. That field is very slick, Marv.
And it's a 3rd and 13 at the 40. The speedster James Jett now flanked to the left side. Hostetler on the screen pass. Nick Bell gets to the marker and may have picked it up.
What a great call, because the Bills had a safety blitz with Matt Darby, number 43. He came in. Hostetler read it. They had to screen, a middle screen called to Bell. Nick Bell, number 38, and it worked perfectly. And it looks like they have the first down. They have to get basically to the 27-yard line, just outside the 27. I think this is 4-down territory again for the Raiders. The Bills did it down there. They didn't make it. If they don't make it, they'll go.
Hostetler now 4 for 4, 74 yards, and they did pick it up.
On the top of the screen, Matt Darby is coming. Hostetler reads blitz, and the screen is already called. The linemen are there. Bell gets out. He gets himself clear, number 38. And watch this. Straight up the field. No dancing. No fancy stuff. Go for the yard marker, which he did.
Nick Bell, in his 3rd year out of Iowa, sat out the first 3 games this season with a hamstring injury. He has been primarily a 3rd down back for the Raiders. 19 seconds remaining in the quarter. It's a first down at the 27. You see the movement.
You know, we asked Art Shell yesterday about the 17 penalties. He said, we addressed
the
them.
ball was snapped. Ball start. Number 76 on the offense. 5 yards, still first down.
That's Wisniewski. He says, we address them. You know, some of the major penalties they call. He said, the things that we work on are these penalties right here with Wisniewski. He said, these are the things we can't correct right away. All this is paying attention to the snap count.
They had 148 during the regular season to lead the league. That's 1 short of the NFL record set by Houston in 1989. Time running out in the quarter. Again, the screen. Montgomery with some running room. So Tyrone Montgomery showing his speed. Jeff Wright made the stop. That's the end of the first quarter. Here in very cold Buffalo, Bills and the Raiders are scoreless. All right, as we get set for the second quarter, Bruce Smith, who has been upset about what he feels are dirty tactics by Raider offensive lineman, in particular all-pro left guard Steve Wisniewski. He's been seething about their style of play, a subject that we discussed with Bruce.
In between the whistle, anybody that's out there playing is fair game, but after the whistle is blown, I don't see any need for the extra pushing and shoving and trying to show that you're a tough guy, because that's not the way the game is supposed to be played. And also the senseless chop blocking, putting someone's career in jeopardy.
You just saw Bruce. He was talking to the officials. He's pleading his case already, and it's at the end of the first quarter.
All right, second quarter underway. 2nd and 5 for the Raiders down at the 22-yard line. Tyrone Montgomery going wide, and he gets to the marker.
You know, it's really interesting now. Jim Kelly, on one hand, is throwing the ball to Brooks and to Andre Reed in short pattern. And here's Hostetler, 5 completions, 3 to the running backs and 2 to the tight ends. He has not really thrown the ball to the wide receivers yet. Here come the big guys in the ball game.
Well, Montgomery picked up the first down. Steve Smith, one of those big guys at about 6'1", 235 pounds. 8th play of the drive. We should point out Steve Wisniewski has a different point of view in contrast to Bruce Smith. We'll hear the Raider side of the picture a little bit later on. Napoleon McCallum tripped up. Combination of the nose tackle, Jeff Wright, and the inside linebacker, Marcus Patton.
And here's where the quarterback goes back and he tells the back, look, just protect the ball. And you see McCallum coming in, he just protects the ball. Both hands on the ball. We are close now for a field goal. We want to get at least 3 out of here. Be very, very careful.
It's a 2nd and 7. Down at the 12. Brown flanks to the left. Right in the slot to the left. And Hostetler throws it away. Over the head of McCallum.
He wasn't throwing the ball to McCallum. He was throwing the ball away, and if he would have seen McCallum, he'd have had a touchdown.
Oh, Hostetler and Smith have some words.
Well, if I'm Hostetler and I want to have words with Smith, I call Wisniewski.
Yeah.
And then talk over him. You kind of yell over Wisniewski. And here comes Smith on the outside. McCallum just releases and let's go. Smith gets around Perry. They both make contact in the backfield. Darrell Talley, the linebacker, blitzing. He was also there. But had Hostetler, look at this. Yeah, hey, what are you doing? Don't hit me in the head.
Well, Jeff Hostetler got involved in one of the melees last week with the Denver Broncos. He's called for timeout. 3rd down and 7 at the 12 when we resume. And coming up, the 10th play of this drive. Well, Paul, I'm sure the Raiders were just delighted to hear from friends and family back in Los Angeles that it was 63 degrees in L.A. this morning. You're looking at a live shot of downtown Los Angeles, and we make the transition to 0 degrees here in Buffalo. Minute gone by. 2nd quarter. 3rd down and 7 from the 12. Hostetler throwing on the run. And Ethan Horton upset. Pass intended for Horton.
Henry Jones, number 20, covering Ethan Horton. He's going out. Hostetler thought about running, and then he saw Ethan Horton. Ethan Horton goes out just a quick flat. And there he is. If he throws now, Hostetler, he's open. But he goes to make the turn. That ball is not catchable. He said he'd been held. He was held. No way. He had no chance of getting to the ball. Good call. Good non-call.
A field goal attempt coming up for Jeff Jager. Missed earlier from 47. This is a 30-yard attempt. In the earlier meeting, remember, Jager hit 4 against the Bills. This one is good. The Raiders take a 3-0 lead. 13:47 remaining in the 2nd quarter.
Mr. Buffalo Bills. Man, watch it. Hey, big fella. But you can't eat just what he's doing when he...
Jeff Jager to kick it off to the combination of Russell Copeland and Don Beebe. And puts it on the ground. It's caught again by one of the upmen. Tasker. Steve Tasker on the line drive. So Steve Tasker made the catch of that line drive short kick and was pushed out by Willie Gold.
And the kicker, Jeff Jager, makes a huge mistake because what his job is to get to the sideline and make sure you force the runner back into the playing field, back into some help. He let Tasker stay on the outside. What a heads-up play. It's why Steve Tasker is going to the Pro Bowl as a special teams guy. He takes the ball out of the air. And look at this. Once he gets to the outside, you're going to see Jager 18. See him here? He hesitates. All he has to do is stand up and get in Tasker's face and force him back to the middle of the field.
Steve Tasker goes 67 yards on that kickoff return. And the Bills have a 1st and goal from about 1.5 yards away. Now the Raiders have taken a timeout.
The Kansas City Chiefs, the Houston Oilers. For Joe Montana, his Super Bowl quest continues. But Warren Moon and company are the NFL's hottest team, having won 11 straight. Can Houston stand the heat now that everything's at stake? Or will Montana burn the opposition yet again? The red-hot playoffs continue Sunday on NBC.
Well, the man who makes the Pro Bowl for his special teams play, Steve Tasker, just went 67 yards as one of the upmen fielding that kickoff. And now the Bills have a 1st and goal. Penalty flags are thrown. Kenneth Davis refusing to go down. Kenneth Davis has been a close-in touchdown specialist, in particular come playoff time, where he's been very successful.
But down there, the goal line, they love to give him the ball, but the Raiders were way offside on the play, unless they're going to call now. But if it was going to be motion at all, the whistle would have blown. No, it's offside against the Raiders. That'll give him another yard, put the ball about the 1.
Offside. Number 75 on the defense. Half the distance to the goal. Still first down.
Howie Long is the guy that gets offside. And here's Howie right here. Watch this. He's gone ahead of time. Boom. He makes it through. The play should have stopped because he made contact in the line. And once you make contact in the line, you should blow the whistle.
First and goal from the 1, and it's Davis for the touchdown. And again, the flag is thrown.
But the Raiders were offside again, so it won't make any difference. That time was number 74, Nolan Harrison, who got underneath and got offside. It's touchdown, Bills.
Offside. Right side of the line. That penalty is declined. Touchdown.
So Kenneth Davis able to run in from the 1. He's a guy who hits the hole so well, a slashing runner in his 8th year out of Texas Christian. Looking for some warmth now on the sideline.
He's one of those guys that really understood his role when he came to the Buffalo Bills as a backup to Thurman Thomas.
Here's Steve Christie for the extra point. No good. No good. Steve Christie, 36 for 37 during the regular season, going off the mark.
0 for 1 in postseason.
Minute and a half gone by in the second quarter here in Buffalo. The Bills 6 and the Raiders 3.
And there's Davis going over the top for the touchdown. Nolan Harrison offside, but didn't make any difference. Here we go again. Davis up over the top, but the Raiders were offside, and then Christie missing the extra point to put this to a 3-point ball game. I don't understand on the kickoffs, Marv, and we saw at the beginning when Jaeger kicked off, he kicked off the ball, when Christie kicked off the ball first, he kicked it off short, and then when Jaeger kicks it, trying to kick the ball down the middle. Go ahead and kick the football. Especially the Raiders, they're kicking with the wind. What wind there is here, it's at their back. Get the ball up in the air. You want them to return the ball. You want to be able to hit big guys on small guys carrying the ball.
Well, Paul, right at the start, you mentioned that you felt special teams could be the key factor in a game like this because of the awful weather conditions and the critical play to this point. That 67-yard kickoff return by Tasker.
And then it missed extra point, which could be very costly for the Buffalo Bills because it puts it in a 3-point game instead of a 4-point game.
So Christie will kick it off.
That's Steve Ortmeyer, who is the football operations and special teams coach. You can't be happy with what just happened.
Rocket Ismail and Willie Galt are back deep. That is Galt. And here comes the Rocket.
And there goes the Rocket.
He was a question mark for today because of a jammed neck. He was inactive last week. And it was the kicker, Christie, who got him down.
Well, he steps out of bounds about the 43-yard line, and the Rocket, I mean, he's used to this kind of weather, playing up in Canada. And then here he is down here playing. Take a look at this. I mean, this is a nice run back. And the first part of it, Christie brings him down, but the first part of the run back was straight ahead, the way you want to see a return man run.
And a good one, a 34-yard return by Ismail, who led the AFC in that department. Hostetler throwing on first down. He has Brown inside the 50. Henry Jones, Mickey Washington making the stop. And for Tim Brown, that is his first catch of the day. He had that sensational game against the Bills in the previous meeting.
All he did was go down and hook up, and he doesn't try to make something happen after he catches the ball because he knows they're moving the ball very well.
All right, the smarter members of the Raiders staying very close to the foot warmer on the sideline. It's a second down and 2, and the first down is collected by Napoleon McCallum.
one thing about Tim Brown, a year ago I asked him because he was having some problems holding on to the football and fumbling as soon as he catches the ball. Tim Brown said, with our team last year, I was struggling because I was trying to make things happen after I catch the ball. This year, he's getting open. They're hitting him with the ball. He's running with the ball. But on that last play when he caught the ball, it just shows the maturity of Tim Brown. He caught the ball, knew he couldn't make much happen, just got down and protected the football.
And Tim Brown made it to the Pro Bowl with an 80-reception season. That is Jet in motion. First down at the 41. Montgomery going wide. Gets to the 35, hit down by the inside linebacker, Marcus Patton. Tyrone Montgomery, out of a family of 10 boys. Now, Paul, 9 went to college on football scholarship. 5 have played professionally. 4 in the NFL. The best known, Wilbert Montgomery, 3-time Pro Bowl running back with the Philadelphia Eagles.
And this young man may be the best known after he gets done because he's really becoming a pretty good player for the Raiders.
The second down and 3 at the 34. McCallum, good second effort, and he has the first down. Patton on the cover-up.
You know, what great balance Napoleon McCallum and just keeping his feet under him. O.J. talked about running flat-footed, and he's the kind of back you want on a field like this. And when you watch him run, he just keeps his balance. He slides. He's going up into the hole straight ahead. Now watch, the hole is going to be stopped. So he just slides over to his left, keeps his balance, his continuous effort, his leg movement. They pick up the first down.
The Bills 6 and the Raiders 3. 4 minutes in. Second quarter. First down from the 27. Hostetler took the long look, went up the middle. McCallum. Napoleon McCallum out of the backfield and hit down by Marcus Patton, and that is good for a 14-yard gain.
The awareness of Hostetler. On the outside, they get a double team on Cornelius Bennett. And look, he steps up and he finds McCallum. This is not his primary target. It's the dump man. He dumps to him. They pick up another first down, but just Hostetler being able to see the entire field.
And Jeff Hostetler, 7 of 9, 107 yards. Raiders with 155 yards, but they show only 3 points. And a first down at the 12. Once again, McCallum.
Offside Buffalo. Bruce Smith gets a jump on the play. He moves. It'll be a 5-yard penalty against Buffalo Bills. We're going to hear Red Cashin still say again, still first down. Here he is up here. This is Bruce Smith. Watch him. He'll get the jump. Perry, number 71, does not move.
Number 78 on the defense. 5 yards, still first down.
Very well done, Paul.
I know he's going to say that. He always says still first down. You have to, though. I guess that's umpire school.
You have been studying Red.
Well, Red, I love listening to Red. He lets you know. There's no doubt.
Actually, that was one of your weaker Red Cashin.
I know. Well, he's a little weak. He's a little cold. His lips are frozen.
It's the first and 5 at the 7. McCallum trying to go wide, could not make the turn. Cut off by Mickey Washington and Marcus Patton. Mickey Washington inserted into the starting lineup, passing by James Williams, a first-round draft pick 4 years ago, and Washington has been the starter.
Well, look at Marcus Patton. He gets off of Smith, and he makes the play. Washington helps out. Patton's got a little blowout in the back of his pants, but that'll it's going to get a little cold there. Well, it's going to get a little cold back there a little while.
And there is Mickey Washington in his 3rd year out of Texas A&M. Patton already has 9 tackles. And we still have 9 minutes to go in the second quarter. 2nd and 5. Hostetler standing in and then cutting and throwing the stutter step as he moves inside the 5-yard line.
Say, Hostetler showed some moves downfield. Nate Odom's number 37 is the only man between Hostetler and the goal line. And watch this. He comes out. They double-team Bruce Smith on the inside. They force him inside. Nate Odom's 37. Hostetler's looking at him. Give me a couple of moves. Hey, come. And then gets wiped out to the inside. They get the ball down there. First down at the 1. And you know who's in the backfield?
Yes, Todd Pete. Number 64, the 6'2", 310-pounder Todd Pete, leading the way for Napoleon McCallum, who is in for the touchdown. So McCallum, who scored 3 times last week against Denver, gets the block from the big guy, Pete. And the Raiders have taken the lead on the Bills.
Todd Pete gets jammed up at the goal line, and Napoleon McCallum almost does too. You see Pete, there's a big blockage right there, and then finally Napoleon McCallum moves out. Marcus Patton, number 53, is on Pete. That's a big job. Pete gets him out of the way. McCallum moves off. Mickey Washington not there fast enough.
Todd Pete, a backup offensive lineman. There he is, number 64 out of Northern Illinois. 8 plays, 57 yards. They had the ball for 5 minutes and 20 seconds. And the point after by Jaeger is right through. 8:10 remaining in the second quarter. Raiders take the lead.
McCallum follows Pete into the end zone, the offensive line blocker. We're going to see it here, but I'm going to show you some little bit of frustration at the end of it. Here's McCallum. He's going to spin out. Washington's on the tackle. Gets the ball in the end zone. See this? Hold on a second right here. You see this guy? Watch this here. 20, that's Jones, and here's the ball. Watch what he does. Touchdown, huh? Oh, yeah? The Raiders, 165 yards in 4 possessions. Yahoo kicked the ball away.
And you see the scoring drive by the Raiders, who have taken a 10-6 lead. And a good kick. So no return.
That's what I'm talking about. The Raiders have the wind at their back, and we have some people mixing up about the 50-yard line. I mean, just, it's a little chicken fighting. That's all that is. But here's Jaeger. He kicks the ball.
Fighting,
yeah, it's the arms and hands and feet and stuff. They don't do anything. They talk and kind of move around. You're not going to hit a guy on the helmet with your fist on a day like today. Your finger will fall off.
Or any day for that matter.
Yeah, any day. But you see Jaeger that time kicks the ball in the end zone. I don't understand why they didn't do that in the beginning of the game before Tasker got the ball and went downfield with it.
So the Buffalo Bills start out from their 20-yard line with 8:06 remaining in the second quarter. And Kelly able to elude the rush and complete. Metzelars tossed it up. It's still loose. It looks like the Raiders have it. They do.
Remember what I said to you about receivers catching the ball and then running with it afterwards, being able to hold on to the football at the beginning of this game? This is a classic example. Metzelars running with the ball. You've got to protect the football. The Raiders recover the ball. At least they say they do. Metzelars catches the ball. He is running with the ball. Red Cashin, which way are you pointing? Raiders ball. All right. Now we believe the Raiders. But Metzelars, there's Kelly. First of all, what a great effort by Jim Kelly. Look at this. He steps up. He gets away from Howie Long. He steps up and throws the ball to Metzelars. Now you have to protect it. He's got trying to get the ball in. And what the Bills are saying, let me tell you something. I don't know if this is a catch. Metzelars does not have control of this football. 1, 2, the ball is moving around, and then it comes out. This is not a catch.
So the Raiders take over at the 40-yard line. McCallum broke the tackle, and that is brought down.
Remember, he has to have 2 feet on the ground when he catches the ball, in total control of the ball. The ball is moving. 1, the other one isn't down. The ball is not in control of his arms. He's moving the ball around. It comes out, and he gets hit. That is questionable, and we're seeing it in slow motion. I think it's an excellent call by the official because they're watching it at full speed.
So you've gone both ways on this.
Yeah, I'm not going to get myself in trouble.
You've done a 360, but
well,
as you say,
we're seeing it in slow motion.
Yeah,
now.
questionable call.
You bet. Whatever.
2nd and 7 from the 37. Hostetler able to complete on the run to Brown at the 30-yard line. Mark Maddox made the stop, and we'll have to see where they spot it.
If it's on the line, they have it. But Hostetler is thinking about running. Then he sees Brown, but Mark Maddox has Brown labeled. Here's the dump. As soon as he catches it, watch this. Here's Maddox, number 55. Outstanding play, but Brown has the first down.
Hostetler now 8 of 10, 115 yards. Jeff Hostetler is 4-0 as a starter in postseason games. 3-0 as a member of the Giants. McCallum. Napoleon McCallum picks up 5 more. Darryl Talley, the Bills' leading tackler, made the stop.
McCallum, you talked about this running with your head up. Watch McCallum. When he goes to the hole here, there is no hole. So he skips. He puts his hand on the back of his own man, skips to the outside, and then picks up 5 yards on the play.
2nd and 5 at the 25-yard line. Just under 6 minutes remaining in the first half. The temperature at 0 degrees here in Buffalo. McCallum with a great second effort. Darryl Talley on the tackle, but McCallum was able to break tackles to pick up yet another first down.
Marv, this is feeling your way and keeping your head up. Watch, he's coming right at you, folks. Look at his head. His head is up. He sees there's no hole there, so let's slide down the line. Then it breaks open the hole, and Darryl Talley makes the play, but McCallum picks up another first down. That's running with your head up and knowing where you are.
Look at those numbers. Raiders led by McCallum, and Montgomery 82 yards on the ground. Here is McCallum trying the other side.
Boy, he gets a nice block from Smith. Steve Smith comes out number 35, and McCallum waits on the block. He's got enough patience to wait on it. Napoleon McCallum slipped on the outside. Now, he's slow getting up. This is where one of those deals where you could pull a groin because you slipped. But he waits on his block. Yeah, it looks like he might have going back at his knee.
Napoleon McCallum has run so well. He and Tyrone Montgomery combining to do it on the ground, particularly with the good-looking rookie Greg Robinson sidelined after undergoing arthroscopic knee surgery. Steve Smith has now checked back in. Napoleon McCallum, back in '85, was the nation's all-purpose yardage leader while at the Naval Academy. But Paul, for the most part, as a member of the Raiders, he had been seeing special teams duty.
Yeah, and he kind of likes the boy, you know, right. If we go back and show this one more time, he falls directly on his right knee. Watch his right knee hit the ground. I mean, straight down. He slips, and his knee hits, bang, right there, and that's when he got up, and his knee hurt, and they're carrying him off the side, helping him off the side. But his knee popped when he hit the ground. Hit straight down on it, all of his weight on his knee. He's up telling everybody I'm all right. When you're running well and you're blocking well, you're feeling well.
So Steve Smith has been bothered by an ankle injury. Has come on. He is the lone deep back. 2nd down and 7 at the Buffalo 13. Hostetler could not find anybody, and then nearly got picked off. Pass intended for Montgomery. Maddox had a shot at it.
Boy, there was a lot of guys had a shot, but I'll tell you right now, Bruce Wilkerson saved, really saved Hostetler. He peels back and gets a block. Cornelius Bennett, they're talking up front.
Cornelius with a, looked like he was lecturing Steve Wisniewski.
That's when you put your finger out there and someone out grabs it and rips it off. Keep your finger in tight.
3rd and 7. Raiders 10 and the Bills 6. There's an interesting stat line on Hostetler. 4.5 left in the half. Hostetler running straight up the middle and has a first down.
Do you know, I never go back in time when I'm doing a game, but do you know back in the 60s that the Raiders had this quarterback draw when we were playing them back in the early 60s? Watch this. It's a called play. It's a quarterback draw. And all that he does, Hostetler, gets behind Mosbar, number 72, who is the center, and this is a call play. They've been running this play for 34 years.
And it sets up a 1st and goal at the 1, and there is Napoleon McCallum back on the field after apparently hurting his knee, but he is back out there.
I had a flashback when I saw it. I'm telling you, I can remember guys running it, Stabler running it, Darryl LaMonica running it. I don't know if Blanda ever ran it or not, but I mean,
no,
George is here. You know, George
I know he is. I don't think so, Paul. Timeout has been taken. by the Raiders.
The Buffalo Bills would like to thank Fleet Bank.
We're down to 3:43
Sponsoring today's
remaining
giveaway.
in this first half, and the Raiders with a 10-6 lead on the Buffalo Bills. Well, we talked about the success of Jeff Hostetler as a member of the Giants back in Super Bowl 25. Buffalo Bills have vivid memories of this. The only touchdown pass of the game from Hostetler to Stephen Baker. This was late first half, cut the Buffalo lead to 12-10 at the time. Giants went on to win 20-19, and Jeff Hostetler went on to win the Super Bowl MVP honors. He was 20 of 32 for 222 yards in that game.
And you know something else interesting? The Raiders, in this first half, it's not over with yet. They have 97 yards rushing, 115 yards in the air for over 200 yards of offense against the Bills. And the Bills are supposedly having the home field advantage and the weather advantage. I forgot to tell the Raiders.
Yeah. It's a first and goal at the 1. And McCallum is stopped. Stopped by the combination of Patton and Maddox.
What a great play on the goal line. The question, the ball, all it has to do is to break the plane to the goal line. And McCallum coming to the outside. You got a perfect angle to see it. Smith is blocking in front. Washington 25 takes on Smith. Maddox. That ball does not, well, the ball looks like it doesn't break the plane. I'm not doing it. Where he stopped, it didn't break the plane to the goal line. It's where he stopped.
Second and goal at the 1. And McCallum is tripped up.
Marcus Patton, number 53, again makes the play. Marcus Patton, number 53, and he's back here in the back, and he just comes flying up inside. Watch this. Here he comes. He goes over the top, and he actually whips Napoleon McCallum with his leg, but it wasn't intentional, and that's why it wasn't called. You're not allowed to whip a guy with your legs, but he was in the air.
Look at that number. 12 tackles already for Patton. Third and goal at the 2. McCallum with a power move. Still no indication. Raiders say touchdown. The officials have not provided the signal.
The Raiders got to understand something. They can't call touchdown. The officials, the lineman, judge calls a touchdown, and they did not put up their hands. You're in a fourth down situation down here. Do you go for it?
Again, McCallum was stopped.
They're not. They're going to kick the field goal. It's going to take it down to the 2-minute warning.
Well, it's a 10-6 lead. It's a 4th and goal at the 1. And Art Shell has decided to go for the 3 points. Jeff Jager hit 35 field goals during the regular season, tied an NFL record, most field goals in a season, tying Ali Haji Sheikh, who did it with the Giants back in 1983. This is a 19-yard attempt, but first the 2-minute warning, and Jager will kick it when we come back. Well, the Raiders have changed their mind, or perhaps Jeff Hostetler did a little selling to the coaching staff. Instead of going for a 19-yard field goal, Hostetler back on the field with this 4th and goal from the 1, Paul. They will now go for it.
I like the call because they're up by 4 points right now. If you kick the field goal, you're up by 7. Touchdown ties you. If they can go up by 11 points, now that's 2 touchdowns that the Bills have to score to get back into the ball game, not 1. I like the call.
And the big guy, number 64, Todd Pete, in the backfield, along with Napoleon McCallum. Here is McCallum, and he's in for the touchdown. Excellent blocking by the offensive line and by Todd Pete.
That was a huge hole because Napoleon McCallum actually fell into the end zone. I don't know if he was hit at all at the point of attack. He went off the right side. And there's the blocking. Pete gets an outstanding block on Patton. He cuts back inside. No, McCallum just dives in the end zone. He's not hit by Bruce Smith until he gets into the end zone, number 78. Art Shell, happy? Are you happy? Yeah, I'm happy. Yeah, he's happy. He's happy. He shook his head.
And the point after by Jeff Jager is put right through. 5 touchdowns the last 4 quarters scored by Napoleon McCallum going back to last week. And the Raiders now lead 17-6 with 1:57 remaining in the second quarter.
Okay, now McCallum going again following Pete, but he kind of cuts off of Pete. Pete will go to the right a little bit more, and McCallum goes back in the inside. That was Patton go up and over top. But the thing that happened is catching the football, running with it, and then fumble it. And there's Pete Metzelaars, the man that fumbled, and he was hoping that they'd only come away with 3. They came away with 7. You got to hold on to the football.
A reminder, stay with us at the half for the Domino's Pizza NFL Live halftime report. Jim Lampley, Mike Ditka, Joe Gibbs will be on hand to chat with Chiefs head man Marty Schottenheimer about tomorrow's game against the red-hot Houston Oilers. And Beasley Reese, former Giant, will be previewing today's NFC matchup between the Giants and the 49ers. That's all coming up at halftime. Well, the crowd here, when its capacity listed at 80,437, and it appears as if every seat is taken. I'm sure there are some no-shows, but a tremendous turnout when you consider the weather. Here is Copeland on the return. Out to the 24-yard line. Russell Copeland, the rookie from Memphis State, is down, shaken up.
Randy Jordan, number 23, going down on the kickoff team. The backup running back makes a sensational play. He just dives in and hits Copeland by the feet, and then Copeland gets hit on the way down. Watch 23 come in here right now. He dives, knocks Copeland's feet out, and then Copeland's going to get hit head-on by number 31, Ricky Dixon. He's still down.
Timeout number 1 for Buffalo.
And a timeout has been taken by the Bills with 1:53 to go in this first half.
That really was an excellent call, though, for the Raiders going for it on a touchdown. Don't you think? I mean, to put them up by 11. Marv Levy looking. There's the young man who makes the play. Number 23, Randy Jordan, is the guy that dove in. And then Dixon actually hits Copeland as he's going down. Here's the hit, knocks his feet together. Copeland going down, and Dixon comes in. And Copeland looks like he fell on his shoulder, and he got hit in the back by Dixon with his helmet.
Divisional playoff.
And he's holding his back as he comes off. Dixon hit him in the back with his helmet. I mean, it wasn't intentional.
So the Buffalo Bills offensive unit is back on the field. They have had the ball for only 5 minutes and 22 seconds in this first half. The Raiders have had it 22 minutes, 41 seconds. Sparked by the play of Hostetler and McCallum. Here's Thomas on the swing pass. Running for the first down.
Now the Raiders are playing. They don't want anybody to get real deep. They're not going to give up the quick touchdown. If they're going to give up anything, it'll be a field goal. So they're all dropped off, and you only have one man forcing. Kelly sets the screen up. The offensive line sells it. Parker, 74, comes out. And then Moss, number 99, is the guy that comes in, and he sacrifices himself. Winston Moss.
And here's Reed with the Bills in the hurry-up, stopped by Terry McDaniel.
Kind of hard doing replays with the Bills. You know that in even normal conditions. This is a 2-minute warning, but they're talking about normal conditions. They hurry it up.
The Raiders have a 17-6 lead on the Bills with 1:20 to go in the half. And a good hit on Beebe by Anderson, although Buffalo did pick up the first down.
The Bills still have 2 timeouts left. If they complete a pass downfield or a screen or a draw play that they can run, in anything in the middle, they can still take timeout.
From the Raider 45, Kelly going deep, and a flag is thrown. Reed interfered with by Torin Dorn.
I'll tell you, there's a line judge that's saying no way, and they may pick this flag up because Torin Dorn, they were both going for the ball. I would not be surprised to see him pick this flag up because I mean, they're talking it over downfield, but Doran had good position. Now they're going to call it. Doran number 46, and here's Andre Reed. Now the ball is in the air. Now where is the contact with the ball? Look at this.
Number 46.
They're both up in the air.
First down.
Andre Reed falls down. Now what we don't see is Doran's hand on the other side. If he's hit, here it is. Is he pushing him down with his left hand? I'm going to tell you something. This is a bad call, because that does not look like pass interference to me.
Well, it turns out to be a 37-yard penalty, and the Buffalo Bills have a 1st and goal down at the 8 with 54 seconds to go. Big hole, and Thurman Thomas able to walk it in. So the Bills come roaring back, helped by that critical call. 8-yard touchdown run, and it's now a 17-12 Raider lead.
Well, Doran, he's the guy that was called for pass interference on Andre Reed. But, you know, when you look at it, Doran really didn't complain about it, so he might have known that he did. Here's the touchdown. It's a quick draw to Thurman Thomas. Hoskins, number 20, comes in, and they get a double hit on the play. Ricky Dixon, number 31, but neither one of them can bring him down. Thurman Thomas for the touchdown.
And now Steve Christie, who earlier missed an extra point, this time puts it through with 50 seconds remaining in the half. The Raiders have owned the football in this first half, but show only a 17-13 lead. A reminder, tomorrow, another big one here on NBC. The AFC Divisional Playoffs continue. Joe Montana and the Chiefs taking on Warren Moon and the Oilers. The winner advancing to the AFC Championship game next Sunday against the winner of today's game. Plus, before the game at 3:30 Eastern Time, Jim Lampley, Mike Ditka, Joe Gibbs, O.J. Simpson, and Will McDonough with an edition of NFL Live. And don't forget, NBC Sports will be covering the NFL playoffs right through Super Bowl 28 in Atlanta on January the 30th. Marv Albert with Paul McGuire from Rich Stadium in Buffalo. Buffalo Bills were granted several extensions to lift the blackout, the television blackout. A second extension finally turned the trick. Yesterday, they sold out by the deadline.
12:30 yesterday. A lot of extensions. That's nice in the playoffs. And when you look at this crowd, though, it didn't keep anybody away, really. You know, it's all being shown here in Buffalo, and here are the fans here. They played the Jets on the day after Christmas, and they had 70-some thousand people here. They didn't sell it out and only had 5,000 no-shows.
Short kick by Christie. Willie Goff try to accelerate, taken down at the 34 by Mark Pike. Yes, there was the thought that if the game were not on television here in Buffalo, they would be assured of the huge crowd. But as it turns out, even with the game being televised, it looks like almost every seat has been taken, better than 80,000 the capacity here at Rich Stadium.
I guarantee I live here, but these are the best fans in the National Football League. I mean, you take a look at this weather, nothing will keep them away from it. Now, the Raiders, they have no timeouts remaining. The Bills still have 2. Question is, what do? Do you go downfield with all that speed? You have the wind at your back. With this speed, you go downfield.
Well, the crowd into it. They start out from the 34 and go to the ground. Nick Bell. Bell is gang tackled after that short pickup.
The Bills should call timeouts. I mean, they have nothing to lose. The Raiders are going to try to run the clock out. Keep letting them run plays. If they fumble, they do something with the ball.
See the clock down to 20 seconds. Hostetler throwing it out of bounds. Tight end Ethan Horton in the area, but Hostetler throwing it away and took a hit which he did not appreciate.
Matt Darby, they had a safety blitz on that play. You know, I don't understand the throw downfield. He's just actually throwing the ball away. Matt Darby, who's the backup safety, number 43, he'll come right from the bottom of the screen. He sneaks up inside. Horton sees him, releases. Now, Bell goes up inside, never looks out to the outside. You got to cover the quarterback from the right-hand side.
Had a second-year man from UCLA, and now Hostetler decides to run it out.
The Bills should take a timeout. Make him punt. Sure, Henry Jones calls a timeout. The Raiders want to go off the field. The Bills have 2 timeouts. Then they only have 1. They're going to force him to punt.
Yes, the Raiders were heading to the locker room.
And what's the difference? Why not go after it? Even if you have roughing the kicker, it's not going to make any difference anyway. I mean, the Raiders are still going to set on the ball. I wouldn't put anybody back, and I'd send all 11. Copeland actually is all right, so he's back there, Marv.
Yes, Copeland, in that last return, took a shot in the back and still trying to work it out.
I got to believe you just got to send them all. They have 1 guy back is Copeland. They have nobody really watching anything else, and they're just going to come. Now, there's the job of the kicker. And all they tell the kicker is this, Gossett. Just get the ball off. Nothing fancy. There's only 8 seconds. The clock will run out. As soon as you catch it, drop it and kick it. Remember the Steeler game with Royals when he watch this. Watch how quick. Bang. That's smart.
Yes.
Did he get hit?
The quick punt by Gossett. Copeland muffed it and then recovered. And 1 second remains in this first half, and a flag has been thrown.
They didn't call a flag, even though Gossett went down. Henry Jones, number 20, was back there, and Gossett kicks and he goes down, but they didn't throw a flag. Red Cashin said, no, here it comes. Watch how quick. Watch how quick he gets rid of this ball. Catches it, bang, it's gone. That's what you do. But Henry Jones is blocked in. They won't make a call there. It's another good non-call.
It's a 34-yard punt. And listed as a 4-yard return. So 1 second remaining. And that will do it. So on this bitter cold day here in Buffalo, high-scoring game despite the adverse weather conditions. Raiders with a 17-13 lead on the Bills. Now let's go to Jim Lampley in New York.
This is the Domino's Pizza NFL Live Halftime Report. Brought to you by Domino's Pizza, where you always get great pizza, plus something for nothing.
All right, thanks, Marv. Jim Lampley back in New York along with Mike Ditka and Joe Gibbs. Mike, let's start with the key psychological gyration in the last couple of minutes of the first half. First, Raiders go for the touchdown on 4th and 1.
Well, I believe the Raiders went for it because they didn't think that the Buffalo Bills could score against their defense. Now, the Bills came back. They got a great psychological touchdown because they got a pass interference on the play. I mean, I think when you play that prevent defense, you prevent yourself from winning. They had complete control of the game. They should be up right now by they should be up by 11 points instead of 4 points, and that's going to be a big factor in the second half that the Bills score right before half.
So with the prevent defense, they gave away a small edge there. Now, Joe, you were known throughout your career for your halftime adjustments. What should these two coaches be thinking of at halftime?
Well, it's a very short amount of time, Jim, and I tell you what, Mike will tell you, you don't have much room to work with or much time. If I were the Buffalo Bills, this is an example of what I'd be trying to do at halftime. I'd back off the blitz. They've been hurt. I'm talking about safety blitzes. They've been hurt twice. Once on the screen, once left the tight end running wide open. Get off the safety blitz. I'd play more man-to-man coverage underneath because what's happening to them, Haas is killed them with dropping the ball off on zone. So I'm saying don't blitz. Just play some man-to-man underneath. Now, if you're switching to the other side, I tell you what, if I'm the Raiders, I would say that I'm going to have to keep a tight end or a back over on Bruce Smith's side because he got the one big play on him, knocking the ball loose. I'm going to keep somebody over there. And the other thing is I'm either going to run inside of him or run away from him the way they did on the goal line to score.
Mike, when you picked the Raiders 28-21 in pregame, some of us were giggling looking at the field. How did you know there'd be this much scoring?
Well, I really don't think the field's that bad. I think O.J. hit it before the game, and so did Joe. There's not a win factor. I mean, if there's no win factor, the ball can be thrown. Plus, the footing seems pretty good. They're not falling all over the place. They're slipping a little bit, but the footing's pretty good. It's a pretty normal game, except it's a little bit cold, and that makes your heart warm, so you want to play harder.
More than a little bit cold, and Jeff Hostetler, incidentally, is reversing the season's statistical trend. Here's what Hostetler did in the Raiders' 2 cold weather games in the regular season. All in all, 19 of 50 for 276. Not very good. But today, in the first half, 25 degrees below zero wind chill, 8 of 12, 115 yards. And, of course, don't forget the running game and Napoleon making his old bones a part of the Raiders' success. The late game today is in San Francisco between the Giants and 49ers. A short while ago, the Giants arrived at Candlestick Park. Quarterback Phil Simms, who's had a solid season, looking toward one of the best playoff rivalries in the NFL. For a further report, we go to Candlestick and join Beasley Reese. Beasley?
Thanks a lot, Jim. Now, the players are on the field testing out this turf at Candlestick Park behind me right now. It'll be the #1 rated offense of the 49ers versus the 5th rated defense of the Giants. Now, the Niners have had trouble stopping the rush this season. That'll be a big story in today's game. How will the San Francisco defense get the Giants' ball control offense off the field?
I don't think they'll do anything that they haven't done all year. You know, it's a statement that everybody throws out there. They're going to load up against our run. Well, you know, I say, hey, teams that play run and shoot offenses load up against the pass. So what? You know, it does not dictate the game, and I cannot foresee them doing anything that's going to dictate that we're going to have to throw it every down to move the ball or whatever.
We're the offense that can be explosive and put up some points. But I think who takes control early, obviously, will have the upper hand. And, you know, especially who provides the long drive to eat the clock up and put the points on the board, because there is a feeling that this will be a shortened game because of all the running.
And now the time of possession will be a very big part of this ball game. And the Giants are #1 in the National Football League when it comes to winning the battle of the time of possession. Jim?
All right, thanks very much, Beasley. Joe, what about it? Are the 49ers good enough defensively to stop the Giant running game?
If they do, they're going to win the game. But I think the Giants can run on anybody, and I think that's what we're seeing today. I think they will run the football on the 49ers.
Are the Giants good enough defensively to stop the 49er passing game?
Well, the key is going to come down to, again, how well their secondary plays against Rice and Taylor. I think they're going to give up some plays. But they can't give up that 6-yard pass that goes for 60 yards. They got to stop the big play. If they can do that, I think they can hang in and win the game.
All right, that all takes place in Candlestick later on today. When we return, we'll talk about tomorrow's other AFC divisional playoff, as we'll be joined live by Kansas City Chiefs coach Marty Schottenheimer. That's right after a message from the NFL and words from your local station.
Sunday, pirates hold the crew hostage, and only the Sequest can save them. Just when it couldn't get any worse, an undersea volcano erupts. Sequest NBC Sunday.
Come over to Jay's Place, because it's all new all week, and you never know who's going to drop in. Guests like Lily Tomlin and Dolly Parton.
It's kind of a 9-to-5 reunion.
The star of Schindler's List, Liam Neeson, James Ingram, Will Smith, Robert Duvall, plus music from Heart.
So we got more stars than Heidi's Black Book.
The Tonight Show all next week on NBC.
Do we agree? We agree.
When Laura and Judy and I wanted to expand our business, our bank said our husbands had to co-sign. You can't be serious. Then I talked to Ken, our accountant, and he suggested Key Bank because they're very helpful to small businesses.
I told them they didn't need a loan, they needed a line of credit.
We got our money, and we got it on our own. Donna, I think of you as a silent partner in our business. How can I thank you?
You just did.
Key Bank really is America's neighborhood bank.
Has Saturday night lost its magic?
Boy, you girls sure are cute.
And I don't eat meat because I'm a veterinarian.
Oh, boy. Hello?
You know what I'm talking about?
Not a clue.
Honey, you look finer in a new set of snow tires.
You know, you just might want to stay home with HBO Saturday Nights. A never-before-seen on HBO movie every Saturday night, 52 Saturday nights a year. Guaranteed. So what are you going to do this Saturday night?
I don't get it.
No kidding. HBO Saturday Nights.
Nick Clooney and Lori Lasowski on Channel 2 News at 6 and 11.
This is the Domino's Pizza NFL Live Halftime Report, brought to you by Domino's Pizza, where you always get great pizza, plus something for nothing.
Halftime at Rich Stadium with the Raiders leading the Bills 17-13. Tomorrow our coverage of the AFC Divisional Playoffs continues at 3:30 Eastern Time. NFL Live preceding the Chiefs and the Oilers from the Astrodome. Buddy Ryan's defense taking on Joe Montana's offense. We're joined live now by the Chiefs head coach, Marty Schottenheimer. Marty, welcome. Thanks for your time. Because of the opportunities that it would present, are you hoping for an all-out Buddy blitz against Joe Montana?
Well, that's something that obviously we've spent a lot of time working on. I don't think it matters whether you're Joe Montana or who you might be. Buddy's got his approach, and, of course, that's to stack as many people near the line of scrimmage as he can.
Joe Gibbs?
Marty, one of the questions I would have, you got to get enough people up on the run and shoot to stop Gary Brown, and yet you got to be back to try and defend against 4 receivers. Do you have some different looks this time?
We've got a number of different things that we're going to do, Joe. I would say right now, in my view, Gary Brown has really brought the run back to the run and shoot.
Marty, if you had to put your finger on one thing, what do you really have to do as a team, Kansas City, to win the football game?
Well, I think it's going to boil down to our efficiency inside our 25 or 30-yard line. If they're able to get the ball down in there, Mike, we've got to do the things necessary to put them in a field goal attempt situation as opposed to letting them convert those things for 7s.
A lot of people expected instant dramatics from Joe Montana in a Chiefs uniform. Some of the time has obviously been spent inculcating the offense and watching the rest of the team learn it as well as Joe knows it. Is that process complete?
Well, I wouldn't say it's complete at this point, but we're clearly making a lot of progress, and I think that's evident not only in the overall play of the offense, but the ability of a David Craig, who now is familiar with what we're doing, to step into a contest. He's been outstanding over the past 3 ball games.
You have an emerging weapon at tight end in Keith Cash. How much more flexibility is that going to give you on offense?
Well, you know, I spoke to Keith yesterday. As those of us that have coached realize, it's always nice to see a young man begin to blossom and flourish as Keith has done. He's a young man that we think has tremendous promise for the future as a player for the Chiefs.
Noise in the Astrodome tomorrow. How difficult will it be for Joe to audible? Will he do so as much as is normal?
Generally, I would think that there would not be too many audibles that we're involved with. We're going to have to react and respond to the circumstances in the course of the game, in most cases without using the audible.
And what's Marcus Allen's biggest job tomorrow? Putting the ball in the end zone or protecting Joe?
Well, I think it'll be a combination of both. Clearly, if we're able to put the ball in the end zone quite a number of times, we should have probably been able to take good care of Joe.
Marty, I got to love the way Pat's dressing. A great-looking sweater. I'm going to borrow for next week.
You got it, Michael.
Okay.
No, he keeps that sweater right through the championship game. Thanks very much, Marty, for your time. We appreciate it. Second half action is upcoming from Buffalo. We'll rejoin Marv Albert and Paul McGuire right after these messages from your local station.
All right, back in Buffalo, the Raiders with a 17-13 lead on the Buffalo Bills. Raiders had the ball most of the first half. Marv Albert with Paul McGuire back at Rich Stadium, where I should report, Paul, it is now -1 degree. The wind chill factor at about -26.
I know that.
Just want to cheer you up a little bit.
I know that, but I'll tell you what else is big. Is that missed extra point. You know, when you look at Christie on this missed extra point and nothing happened. This ball was down. Everything was fine. He just pushed it off to the right. You know, there I get a 4-point game instead of a 3-point game. Everything was fine. Now, here it is. Take a look at the hold. Frank Reich is the holder. He gets the ball down. Gets it turned. Missed it.
Okay, and instead of a 3-point game, it is a 4-point spread at this point. As you are well aware, if you've been with us right from the start, we have double coverage on the sidelines this afternoon. Let's go downstairs to O.J. Simpson and Chris Collinsworth. Guys?
Well, in talking to the Raiders when they went in, obviously they were quite satisfied with the first half. I asked Tim Brown, why aren't you throwing the ball downfield? He says, we don't have to. Offensive coach Terry Rabitsky said we knew we can run on them in the first game that we played against them. Everything is going to where we're going. We have a good feeling that we can push them around, and we're going to continue to try to do that in the second half, Chris.
Yeah, Juice, you really hit on the key. I talked to defensive coordinator Walt Corey for the Buffalo Bills, and he said that in that first half we tried to play them with a 7-man front. We could not stop the running game. In the second half, we're going to almost exclusively with the 8-man front. They have to stop the running game in order to win this football game. Okay. Gentlemen?
All right, thank you, Chris and O.J. And right here, let's take a look at the Coors Light halftime statistics. And that running game for the Raiders certainly prominent. 98 yards in the first half. The Bills with only 14.
Yeah, but take a look at it down the total yardage. 98 yards rushing for the Raiders and 102 total yards. That's only 4 more yards than a rushing yardage. So the Buffalo Bills really have to stop the run because the run sets up this pass. Now, the only Tim Brown is the only wide receiver with any catches. He has 2 of them for, I think, a total of 17 yards. And there's one turnover in the ball game which led to a touchdown.
Yes, the other receivers have been quiet. James Jett, Alexander Wright have not seen the football. The Los Angeles Raiders, 10-6 in the regular season. They won 5 of the last 6 games. Buffalo Bills won their last 4 after losing 2 in a row. They won 12-4 in regular season play, taking their 5th AFC East title in 6 years. Copeland and Beebe are the deep men for the Bills. And Jaeger getting set to approach. Jeff Jaeger in his 6th season from the University of Washington.
If the wind is a factor, that means the Raiders will have the wind in the 4th quarter of this ball game. And I think that's what they wanted. We have no idea what the delay is. Red Cash is looking around. Just put your arm up, Red. Let's get it on.
Yes, waiting for the whistle, which will lead to Jaeger making his move. The indication by Red Cashin, and the second half is underway. Another short kick taken by Don Beebe. All right, a look at the quarterbacks in the first half. Hostetler, 8 of 12, 115 yards. Kelly, who was not on the field for a very long period of time, 10 of 12 for 95 yards.
And just think about it. All of this thing is all done in real short passing. Now, here's the running game. Here's the difference. Thurman Thomas, 14 yards. Napoleon McCallum, 15 carries, 45 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Buffalo Bills from the 25-yard line. Kelly taking a long look and going deep. It was almost intercepted. Lionel Washington, the right corner in front of Don Beebe, had a crack at it.
This is the first long pass we saw. Now, Kelly, play-action pass, rolls out on the bootleg, and look at Washington, 48. I mean, that is just outstanding coverage. Can't hold on to the football, but he had position on the play. Here it comes. There's Washington. Beebe had no chance. Second down.
2nd and 10 from the 26-yard line. It's Thomas. Thurman Thomas for a short pickup. A little slow to get up.
2 yards in.
He got hit in the head. It looks, he might have got a finger in his eye. They're in that hurry-up offense. He's all right.
3rd down and 8. Sideline pattern for the first down. Bill Brooks hooking up with Jim Kelly, covered by Torrin Dorn, and it is a first down for Buffalo.
First down.
Well, you take a look at the Bills in the first half, and they gave it up on downs. They went for it on fourth down situation. Look, they only had one other than the 10-play drive. The 4-play drive was on a pass interference. They ended up with a touchdown.
All right, Kelly from the shotgun, able to dump it off on the screen for Thomas. Another Buffalo first down. Derek Hoskins, Mike Jones combined to make the stop. It's a 17-yard advance.
We talked about at the beginning of the game the way to get the ball to Thurman Thomas is hand it off to him on draws, and again here on screens. He just sets up. They let Thurman Thomas. I can't believe that there's someone out there covering with him. Parker, 74, gets a good block, and Thurman Thomas gets the ball in Raider territory.
And Kenneth Davis now in the backfield, takes the handoff. Davis came on for Thomas. A minute and 40 gone by in the 3rd quarter. Raiders 17 and the Bills 13. 6 weeks ago, Bills and Raiders met here in Buffalo, and the Raiders won 25-24. Kelly again with a toss out to Brooks. And Lionel Washington provided the coverage.
Brooks trying to run with the ball before he gets it. And he wouldn't have had the first down because Washington was there. Here's the pass. Perfect. He sets up. Watch this. He's looking. You see his head turned to the left. He's looking for Washington. He's looking for a way to run, to make a fake. You have to concentrate on the football.
It brings up a 3rd down and 7. Again, it's Davis in the backfield. completes for the first down to Metzelar. The middle linebacker, Joe Kelly, with the reps on the 6'7" tight end, Pete Metzelar.
Big target, and all Pete Metzelar does, he goes down, sees the first down marker, gets rid of the linebacker. Look at him, he sets up. He's a big target, claps his hands. Kelly hits him right on target, and he holds on to the football.
Fourth catch, 38 yards for Metzelar. Thurman Thomas is back. Takes the swing pass. Thomas works his way inside the 30. Tackled by Dorn.
Jim Kelly going back, and it's all short stuff. The long pass he tried to get to Beebe was almost intercepted. Now here's a little slip screen to the outside. That's Kent Hall, number 67, the center, getting out and making the block. And Thurman Thomas picking up about 6.
Second down play. Now Thomas on the rush. Nolan Harrison, the right defensive tackle, made the stop. Short pickup for Thomas, who during the regular season rushed for 1,315 yards to lead the AFC. His 5th consecutive 1,000-yard season. 5 straight, tying our man O.J. Simpson's Buffalo Bills franchise record. 3rd and 2. Thomas lost his balance and then was taken down by the right defensive end, Greg Townsend, and short of the first down.
This crowd wants them to go for it, but they're going to go for the field goal. They do have the wind at their back. The field goal will be about 42 yards, and with the wind, 43 maybe. I think Thurman Thomas might have picked up that first down and he not slipped.
It is a 43-yard attempt by Christie. High snap, handled by Wright. Christie's kick. No good. The Raiders maintain the 4-point lead. Well, it's been a rough day for the Buffalo kicker. Steve Christie missed an extra point earlier, and right here, missed from 43 yards out on the field goal attempt.
Well, you take a look at it, it's all down, everything's perfect. He just hooks this thing, and the wind does blow on this field from right to left across, and that's what he got caught doing.
Raiders start from their 25-yard line. Montgomery with nowhere to go. Tyrone Montgomery hit down by Darryl Talley. Loss of 3. Well, it'll be a 2nd and 13.
Now look at the possessions, the difference in the number of plays. That's what you look at along with the scores. There's a missed field goal, a field goal, 2 touchdowns. But look at the number. They only had it one time, 3 plays and out they had to punt. Only one. They had 5 plays on the other one when they punted.
And now Montgomery is split wide to the left. Hostetler with the time. And he ran out of time and complete. Terrific play. Alexander Wright making the catch. It's good for 25, his first reception of the game. However, a penalty marker is down.
It's against the Raiders. They're saying illegal man downfield. Now, Hostetler, watch this. He gets out of everything, moves over, and then he finds Alexander Wright for the first down, but they're going to bring this back.
Ineligible man downfield. Number 68 on the offense. 5 yards, still 2nd down.
Number 68 is the right tackle. He's up here, and that's Wilkerson. You'll see what happens here. Hostetler, the blocking, he's out on Cornelius Bennett, number 97. How does he get downfield? He's blocking. How can he be downfield? It's Max Montoya, number 65, not 68. You're going to say that's going to be tough to be downfield when you're 15 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
It's a 2nd and 18, and Hostetler goes short range. Montgomery tried to weave his way out of traffic, but could not. Met by the combination of Phil Hansen and Jeff Wright.
What the Buffalo Bills are doing now is what Chris Collingsworth talked about, getting 8 men up on the line of scrimmage and now forcing you to throw the ball downfield. and everybody is in position to make the play. They had to do one thing at halftime, the adjustment being made to stop Napoleon McCallum from running the football and the Raiders from running the football. But take a look at all of these guys who are up on the line of scrimmage. Here they come. The linebackers are set inside. Now the screen, when he goes to the outside, Cornelius Bennett makes an outstanding play, forces Montgomery back to the inside, and Jeff Wright makes the play.
Third down and 21 to go from the 14. Hostetler stepping up, goes the middle and has Brown. He coughs it up, but he's ruled down. It is short of the first down.
It just looked like Hostetler had all day to decide whoever he wanted to throw the ball to. And he eventually gets it to Brown, but he's not far enough downfield. Brown has to come back. Watch Hostetler slip it to his left. Cornelius Bennett finally comes into his face, but Brown is there. He makes the catch. He's on the ground, and then the ball comes out. Brown, catch, hit, down, ball's out. Good call.
And Jeff Gossett will punt from his 20. Russell Copeland let it go. It is only a 33-yard punt. Buffalo will go back to the offense when we return. Well, Jim Kelly has, of course, succeeded in making it to 3 consecutive Super Bowls, but the Bills have lost, as you know, all 3, leading to many unkind critiques written and said about Jim and his team and even the city of Buffalo. We asked Jim for his reaction to those critical shots.
We're winners. I mean, how many teams can say that they consistently do what we've done each season? I mean, when you finish at the top, you got to play the top schedule in the league, and year after year after year, we're still right there in the thick of things. And I've kept some of those smart comments by some people, and hopefully I'll be able to read them one day, but they'll take care of business first.
Well, as you watch Jim Kelly complete to Thurman Thomas, he relates that he has kept his own little personal file of critical newspaper clips.
And he'll let him know about it when he's all done. But, you know, Jim Kelly that time when he made a great read. Howie Long was in his face. He makes a great read and gets the ball out to Thurman Thomas.
It's a pickup of 7. Second down and 3. Inside handoff for Thomas. Goes to the outside and has nowhere to go.
Now, the one thing that you talk about the Buffalo Bills, though, you think about it, this is their 97th game in 4 years. They've played more games in 4 years than anybody in National Football League history. And the thing about them is they have a chance to go to 4 straight Super Bowls, and they still get knocked by the press. That's what they don't like.
7:20 remaining in this third quarter. And the Bills down 17-13. A floater thrown by Kelly up high. Got away from him. It was intended for Bill Brooks.
Jim Kelly coming off laughing because he knew he had Brooks open, and he had him there for the first down. The ball just got away from him. And that's one of those things I was telling you before, you know, when the quarterbacks, their hands are cold, they have that kind of touch. You've got to make sure the ball gets there.
So Chris Moore will punt to Tim Brown. He's very dangerous, Tim Brown. It's a line drive. One hop by Brown, and what a tackle.
Steve Tasker
is met by Steve Tasker following the 39-yard punt.
Ladies and gentlemen, 2 All-Pros in mutual respect. Watch this. Tasker makes the tackle. Watch Brown. He points to him. Nice tackle, man. Nice tackle. That's respect. They shake hands and help each other up. Isn't that nice?
Paul, sportsmanship at its very best.
That's like you and me right after the game.
Absolutely.
I try to shake hands and you leave without shaking hands.
I usually walk away.
I know you do. You walk away.
Raiders
had to do a basketball game somewhere.
With a 17-13 lead on the Bills. 7 minutes remaining. In this third quarter, Hostetler having difficulty audibleizing. McCallum. Oh, what a second effort by Napoleon McCallum. The Bills thought they had him on that first, and finally Darryl Talley and Mark Kelso were able to bring him down.
This is what you have when you have the 7 men up front or 8 men up front to stop McCallum. Jeff Wright, number 91, is the man that misses. He hits him right there. McCallum spins and picks up 8.5 yards on the play. That's why they have this defense. They want to be up in the line of scrimmage to force them to run the football or force them to throw the ball. Here they are again. Look at the guys up front.
second and a long one. McCallum, once again, very difficult to bring down, but he is brought down short of a first down. Mark Maddox made the stop.
Well, it was Chris Collingsworth when he was talking to the coach about to take a look at. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys right up here in the line of scrimmage, and it's very difficult to run the football. And we'll see it here. They don't. The linebackers are flying. Maddox is there. Half-yard gain.
McCallum has run 17 times for 55 yards. It's a third down and one. The tight end Horton in motion. McCallum is stopped.
Well, if they mark it there, he doesn't make it.
It appears he's short of the first down.
He's going to have to get an awfully good mark to get a first down on this. It's got to be fourth down on the play. That forces the Raiders to punt the ball. And when you take a look at this, you talk about 8 men up there. Watch all the guys that eventually end up on this line of scrimmage. Here they come. They're all up in there. Pete couldn't help that time.
So Jeff Gossett will punt for the fourth time this afternoon. Russell Copeland is back. As Copeland comes up to take it at the 41. It's only a 29-yard punt. 5:04 to go in the third.
I'm holding Bruce Smith's shoe, man. Do you know what Bruce does in these shoes, man? Bad things, man. I mean bad things. Things that I just can't possibly talk about. You know what Bruce would do if he found me messing with this shoe, man? Bad things, man.
A reminder, tomorrow, starting 3:30 Eastern Time, right here on NBC, the AFC Divisional Playoffs will continue. Joe Montana and his Kansas City Chiefs going up against Warren Moon and the Houston Oilers. Back in Week 2 in Houston, Joe Montana sidelined by injury. Dave Craig, the starting quarterback, he was sacked 4 times. 5 Kansas City turnovers, a 30-0 victory for Houston. Buddy Ryan hoping for more of the same tomorrow. Meanwhile, Kelly on the run, completes to Reed for a Buffalo first down.
Andre Reed makes a great move. He comes downfield and just gets rid of the defensive back and gets himself out into the right. Andre Reed coming down, goes to the inside and moves back outside, and there he is. He's wide open. Kelly with the ball right on target.
It's a 20-yard pickup. Remember in that earlier meeting here in Buffalo against the Raiders, Reed hurt his elbow and was not a factor. Just under 5 minutes to go. Third quarter. Big hole for Thurman Thomas.
Moss is going to get himself in trouble. He just hit Pete Metzelaars, number 99. He got Metzelaars for holding him. Winston Moss, just hit him in both shoulders. He says to the referee, "Will somebody take a look at this guy? He's holding me."
Thomas going for 6. Second down and 4. And Kelly completes to Metzelaars for the first down. Derek Hoskins on the tackle.
What Marv Levy told us yesterday, he says, we told our players, don't get intimidated by the Raiders. If they want to retaliate and do some things, let them go ahead and do it. Walk away. There will be another day.
But it is always difficult to walk away.
It really is.
Thomas, breaking tackle. Mike Jones made the stop. Both coaches said the same. Art Shell also telling us yesterday that obviously he wants the intimidation factor going, but he does not want to get players thrown out, and Marv Levy made that point in a very strong fashion, urging his players not to get involved.
Yeah, just don't get involved. And if things are said, you can have a war of words if you'd like.
Second down and 7. Kelly with the time. Touchdown. Bill Brooks.
There's just no way that Torrendorn can stay with Billy Brooks that long. Jim Kelly had all the time to throw the football. That offensive line gave him plenty of time. He just waited for Bill Brooks to get by Torrendorn and number 46 and makes the play.
The Buffalo Bills have come from behind to take the lead, and Christie's extra point was blocked. Christie, who missed once during the regular season, late in the season against Miami, has had 2 extra points that have gone astray.
This was right up the middle, and somebody jumped up. This ball never cleared the line of scrimmage because this was blocked at the line of scrimmage. I think it was number 84, John Duff, who is a tight end. Watch in the middle of the field. Number 84 goes up in the air. This ball doesn't clear the line. I don't know if that anyway, might have gone underneath the crossbar. Here it comes. John Duff, number 84, goes up at the line of scrimmage. Look where he blocks this ball. That ball hit him in the face.
And John Duff goes 6'7", 250-pound Darryl Talley. Can't believe it.
Yeah, but he knows they're still ahead, so that's okay.
The Bills now lead 19-17. 5 plays, 60 yards in a minute and 41, capped off by Kelly combining with Brooks.
All right, watch this. He's got Torrendorn. Now, remember, if you look at it here, Kelly's got all the time in the world to throw the ball. Brooks runs a little hitch and go. Kelly has all the time. Torrendorn not there. Watch how much time Kelly has. He waits, he waits, he waits, and there's really no pressure on him. He just gets the ball downfield. Credit the offensive line and the great pass route by Bill Brooks.
And for Bill Brooks, his first career postseason touchdown. The Buffalo Bills 19, the Los Angeles Raiders 17 with 3:23 to go in the third. Ismail and Galt are back for the kickoff. Taken by Rocket Ismail. Not able to reach out to the 25. The tackle by Thomas Smith. First-round draft pick, a rookie from North Carolina. I checked that it was James Williams on the stop. And so, the Raiders to the offense from the 23-yard line.
You can take all those stats in the first half and throw them away. They don't mean anything. Look at the Buffalo Bills on the scoring drive. 5 plays, 60 yards, and it took them 1:41. This team, the Buffalo Bills, you watch them year after year, they are never out of a ball game.
Play action. Hostetler had to go short range. That's the big tight end, John Duff, who blocked that extra point, making his first catch of the season.
Bruce Smith is going up against Perry, number 71. Here's Bruce Smith also getting Ethan Horton getting some help, a double team on the outside. But the play action pass by Hostetler on the play is the thing that made it. That's what Bruce Smith is mad about. All right, you got me, I stopped, and then you give me a little shot at the end.
Second down and 6. McCallum fumbled it. The Bills have recovered. Well, Bruce Smith got a piece of it, and Henry Jones comes out of the pile with the ball.
See, I thought the first play that the Raiders came up with the play action pass and throwing the ball was a smart play that freezes the defensive line and linebacker. Now to line up again on the second down and long and try to run directly at an 8-man front is crazy. Here comes Bruce Smith, number 78. They got a tight end blocking on him. He just reaches in and pulls the ball out. Also, Jeff Wright, number 91, the tackle, gets his hand in there, and Jones ends up with the ball. The Bills have it at the 30.
BB to the left, Brooks to the right, back to the ground, and a hole for Thurman Thomas. He gets inside the 25. Terry McDaniel and Eddie Anderson combined on the stop. He went for 7, 2nd and 3 at the 23. We come up on 2 minutes to go. Third quarter, Buffalo has come from behind. They lead 19-17, and look like Howie Long jumping.
Howie's talking to Kent. You move the ball, I'm jumping, I'm moving. He goes back and drills. They don't have enough time. That's what they call
Before
unimpeded.
the ball was snapped, encroachment, number 75, 5 yards, first down.
There it is, first down. I'll tell you, here comes Howie Long. He's real quick, and if they have time to blow the whistle, they would to keep him from getting Kelly. But actually, Howie Long grabbed Kelly. Kelly goes down. Howie Long tried to hold him up, but he was offside. First down, 20-yard line, or inside the 20.
Buffalo's first down at the 18. Thomas. Nice move by Thurman Thomas. Winston Moss on the stop.
Totally different. Here's Napoleon McCallum watching. He's the guy that fumbled, but totally different. Now, here's the offensive line of the Buffalo Bills taking total control of the defensive line of the Raiders. The Raiders are going to have to do something. Either they're going to have to bring those linebackers up and start filling holes, or do some blitzing, which they don't normally do.
2nd down and 4. Fina and Ballard at the tackles. Parker, Davis at the guards. Hull is the center. Kelly looking end zone. Kelly throwing. Crowd wanted a flag. Andre Reed covered by Derek Hoskins. And Reed slipped and went down.
What happened on this defense is Kelly called an audible because he saw on the outside with Reed in the slot, there was nobody in the middle of the field. Take a look down in here. There's nobody there. Now Kelly goes back, and that's where he wants Reed. But Hoskins wouldn't let him inside. So Reed goes in and tries to make a move, and he slips. Hoskins was there.
From the 12, 3rd down and 4. Kelly's pass is broken up. Double coverage. Lionel Washington got a piece of it.
The huge collision was between Metzelars and Beebe, and Metzelars is down. They ran into each other. The defensive guys were there, but Metzelars and Beebe were downfield. Dixon and Washington were down there, but they run into each other. We're going to have to take a timeout here. In the middle of the field, Metzelars, hold us for a second, can you guys? Here's Metzelars, and here comes Beebe, and they're going to collide right here. Whoa. Here it comes. Metzelars is the guy that takes the beating. There's Beebe going down, and they hit each other. The Raiders had nothing to do with it.
It's a 4th down and 4 at the 12, which will lead to a 30-yard field goal attempt by Steve Christie, who has had a very long afternoon. 2 missed extra points. 1 was blocked. He missed from 43 yards out in a field goal attempt. Steve Christie, a guy who's hit from 59. That was back in week 3 against Miami. For the season, 23 of 32. He dropped off late in the season, although in the Bills' last game, he did hit 3 out of 4, including a 49-yarder. Frank Reich will hold. It is good. The Bills extend to a 22-17 lead with 59 seconds remaining in the 3rd.
Callum's fumble. Bruce Smith strips the ball along with Jeff Wright. But I tell you one thing I think the Raiders must do. That's go back to play-action passing.
A reminder, next Saturday, NBC Sports will be at Madison Square Garden in New York. Hockey's all-time leading scorer, Wayne Gretzky of the LA Kings, the hottest young player in the game, Philadelphia Flyer Eric Lindros, and 2-time league MVP Mark Messier of the New York Rangers. Some of the marquee players will be on hand Paul, that's the NHL All-Star Game live from Madison Square Garden next Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time right here on NBC.
I have nothing planned for that day. I cannot wait to see Sheldon Canagieser skating again.
You are very ill.
What's happened?
Sheldon Canagieser.
He's not going to. He didn't make it.
One-time member of the Buffalo Sabres.
He didn't make it, huh?
Paul, this is so sad indeed. Sheldon Canagieser.
Hey, you remember we saw Bruce Smith with that fumble? Marv Levy brought a film into our meeting yesterday. 5 fumbles that the Buffalo Bills have created during the season. And he showed it to his players yesterday. He said, this is what it'll take to win the ball game. Metzelar's is going off, but he had a film with 5 different fumbles during the year, and he said, this is what we have to do. They just got one.
Well, fumbles certainly hurt the Buffalo Bills in that regular season meeting against the Raiders. One in particular by Herman Thomas. Rocket Ismail. Penalty flag is down. Or was that his mouthpiece went flying? Apparently that's what it was.
A hand warmer.
Good coverage by the Bills. I'd love to see that play on the telestory.
Would you? The old hand warmer trick?
Yes.
Here it comes. That's James Williams, and this is the man you're going to be watching. Keep an eye on him. Keep an eye on that little backpack in the back. And out of that backpack, first of all, it smiles down. He's up. Williams hits him, and out comes the backpack. Right here. There's our guy.
Okay. 49 seconds left in the third. Hostetler facing the rush. And that was deflected. So the Bills put the pressure on.
Safety blitz. That time by Henry Jones, number 20. He's going to come off the bottom of the screen, number 20. Here's the guy here. He's going to come in on the inside. And the ball is tipped up front. Now, I don't know if that's Talley or Smith that gets a piece of it. It looks like Darryl Talley right here. He gets a piece of the ball.
2nd and 10 from the 14. 45 seconds remaining third quarter. Hostetler's pass caught by Brown. Tim Brown in the open field. One man back. He beats Kelso, and he's in for the touchdown. 86-yard pass reception, and the Raiders have once again taken the lead.
How many teams have you ever heard him say, if you're going to live by a blitz, you're going to die by a blitz? And that time, Nate Odoms was on a blitz, and he's a corner man, and you got Brown. Hostetler gets to the outside. He also has Jet on the top side, who has also had his man beaten, and that's where Kelso was. But Kelso comes out, and it really isn't fair. Here's the safety with Brown coming down, who is a world-class sprinter. He was at one time at 60 yards, and then here he comes downfield, and he makes the play. Kelso has really no chance of making the tackle on. All he tried to do is hope somebody can catch up, and you're not going to catch Brown.
Raiders by 1. And here is Jeff Jager. Whoa! He hit the goalpost.
I told you, there are no gimmies today as far as the special teams are concerned, and we're seeing great special team play. Okay, here we go. Let's go back to the touchdown and watch Hostetler. He's got time, so he moves to the outside, and then he finds Brown. Once Brown gets his man beaten, that's Washington, it's all over. Here comes Nate Odoms. He's not even in the picture because he was in the backfield blitzing. And here's the move that he makes on Kelso. Kelso's hoping he can cut it back so Washington can make the play, but he doesn't. Brown. Whoa! Here it is again. Look at here. Here's Brown downfield, and once he makes this thing, you can almost say he was gone. You can see how far 37 Nate Odoms was from behind. Here comes Kelso. He has no chance, but it's like a 6 or 7 yard completion and a run for a touchdown. You know who does that better than anybody else? Jerry Rice and John Taylor for the San Francisco 49ers. Hostetler is just elated with what he has done, or what Brown has done.
Well, he has those type of receivers, as we have seen, and particularly in recent weeks with the likes of Tim Brown and James Jett. Will he go? So Tim Brown makes it into an 86-yard pass reception for the TD, and the Raiders lead 23-22 with 30 seconds to go in the third.
We're seeing an awful lot of missed extra points blocked. We have had 2 misses and 1 block. Here it is. Gossett is holding the ball. The ball is down. The hold is sideways. You know what happens on a play like this? Look at Jager's left foot. Is it far out in front? He just hooks the ball into the goalpost.
Now Jager with the kickoff. Russell Copeland on the return. Try to follow his blocker. Able to break a tackle, and then is taken down at about the 29-yard line. Well, that combination of Hostetler and Brown for 86 yards will go into the books, tied for the third longest touchdown reception in the postseason. Looked like Jeff Hostetler suffered a cut on his chin.
Now, you only get injured after the game. You're not allowed to get injured during the course of the game.
18 seconds remaining in the third. Intended for Keith McKellar, the backup tight end, who was covered by Winston Moss.
I know Washington slipped. He didn't get hit. He's up laughing. He says, I'm okay.
It'll be a 2nd and 10 at the 30. Again, it's McKellar. Joe Kelly on the coverage. And as McKellar makes that catch, we will tell you that Pete Metzelaars is out the rest of the way because of a hand injury that passed on from the Buffalo sideline. So bad news for the Bills. That's the end of the third. We'll be back after these words from your local station. Back in Buffalo, New York, Marv Albert with Paul McGuire. Look at the line score in a wild one. It's been a terrific game. Raiders 23, Buffalo 22 as we head to the fourth quarter. The winner goes on to play for the AFC Championship. Look out! Bad snap. Kelly thought he covered up, and now it is finally covered by Brooks.
Well, if this play goes, it's going to be offside the Raiders, and it'll be first down the Buffalo Bills because it was 3rd and about 3. They didn't blow any whistle. The question is, did anybody move in a line? Offside Raiders, it'll be a first down Bill. Nolan Harrison, number 74, was one of them. Harrison and Long, both tackles in the middle. Here they are, this guy.
75 on the defense, 5 yards, first down.
I think they're both offside. You know, Mark, when you look at it, I don't know if it's cadence or not on this thing, but I just think that they're so anxious to try to do things that they're in a hurry to try to get to Kelly and to create something and stop Thurman Thomas from getting the ball. But I mean, Thurman Thomas is getting up slower and slower. Ken Hall went to help him up. Thurman Thomas shrugged him off.
Thomas making the catch on first down, picking up 5. That's his 6th catch of the day. It'll be a 2nd down and 5. Buffalo at its 47th. Opening minute, fourth quarter. Raiders now have a 1-point lead. Andre Reed with the first down and some more. And taunting from Ricky Dixon. Had some words after that tackle. 18-yard advance.
Andre Reed gets up limping. Look at this in the slot. He just gets by McDaniel, Terry McDaniel. They released him inside, and Ricky Dixon, 31, makes the hit. Andre Reed is limping back to the outside.
It has been an injury-hit season for Reed. First down for the Bills. Oh, big hit on Thomas. A slashing tackle by the combination of Dixon and Jones. Like Dixon shaken up.
Yeah, Dixon ought to get up real quick because he's the guy that taunted Andre Reed. Watch this hit by Dixon. Here goes. It looks like Thurman Thomas coming to the outside. Ricky Dixon hit, bounces off. He's back up. He's playing.
And now Thurman Thomas to the Buffalo sideline. Kenneth Davis has come on. Conversation between Reed and Kelly, and then Reed lines up in the slot for the second down and 8. And Kelly able to unload to McKellar. So Keith McKellar has come on and has stepped right in for the injured Pete Metzelar's Lionel Washington making the stop.
Lionel Washington read the play perfectly the whole way, but he couldn't really take a chance at going for the ball. He had to make sure he kept McKellar from getting downfield after he caught the ball. 3rd and short.
3rd and 3 at the 27. Raiders understandably standing by those heaters. Kenneth Davis with the first down. The temperature right now at -2 degrees. The wind chill factor at -26. They say snow later in the day. That's the forecast. Flurries will hit later. It did snow earlier. It has snowed here in Buffalo 28 of the last 29 days. First down at the 24. Davis. Short pickup. Ricky Dixon made the stop, and they're checking out Thurman Thomas, who, as you mentioned, Paul, has taken a pretty good pounding right throughout.
Well, we got a Raider down, too, that's taking a pretty good pounding. I think that's Dixon, number 31. That's the second time he's taken a shot. Thurman Thomas is on the sidelines. They're talking to him.
And a timeout has been called. 12:24 to go in the 4th. Well, this Buffalo crowd urging the Bills on. 2nd and 8 from the 22 for Kelly, who throws to the end zone. Touchdown! Once again, it is Bill Brooks to give Buffalo the lead.
They had Patrick Bates in there, number 29, the Raiders playing in their nickel package or their dime package, whatever one they had in there. And Jim Kelly, again, had all the time in the world to throw the ball. And Bates does not make a play. Bill Brooks makes the play.
2nd touchdown of the game. And Jim Kelly has been outstanding. 23 for 31, 253 yards, 2 touchdowns. Extra points have been an adventure. This one is good.
Jim Kelly, on this play here, he just has all the time to throw the football, and that's what offenses try to do with their offensive line. But watch this. When he throws this ball to Brooks, there's Bates, 29. He really has no chance. Washington's behind. Bates should be in front. Now, Washington is covering here. He releases the Bates on the inside. Bates just doesn't get there. Watch this. Here comes Bates. Here comes the ball. He doesn't make the play.
So it is now Buffalo 29, the LA Raiders 23. Minutes and 5 seconds remaining. 4th quarter. Marv Albert, Paul McGuire from Rich Stadium in Buffalo. Steve Christie getting set to kick it off. 9 plays, 71 yards, 3 minutes, 25 seconds. Kelly to Brooks to give the Bills a 29-23 lead. Short kick. Will it go with the spin and down at the 24-yard line.
Marv, the last 3 possessions the Bills have had the ball. They had touchdown, field goal, touchdown. The last possession that the Raiders had the ball, touchdown. So much for cold weather, hampering the offenses. Look at the Bills, you know, when you take a look at the first half, second half in total yardage, but the Bills in the first half, they had 102 yards. You see that? In the 3rd quarter, they had 137 yards.
Now Hostetler and the Raiders start from their 24. Hostetler 12 of 17, 222 yards, 1 touchdown. Hostetler to Brown, who went for the touchdown on an 86-yard pass play that momentarily gave the Raiders the lead until that touchdown a moment ago from Kelly to Brooks.
Hostetler's just taking some pages from the Buffalo Bills. Here's Brown, a little short pass on Washington. Washington's going to give you that. It's about a 4 or 5 yard gain. Brown tucks away the ball, 2nd down and 5.
And for Brown, his 5th catch of the day, 127 yards, having another Excellent day. Of course, that helped by the 86-yard touchdown pass reception. Tyrone Montgomery stopped by the combination of Darryl Talley and Cornelius Bennett, and short of the first down. So it brings up a third and about 1.5 yards.
And here comes Jett. They have not thrown the ball to James Jett today.
James Jett, the rookie from West Virginia, with tremendous speed. An Olympic gold medalist. He is a burner. But as you mentioned, they have not looked his way.
And they got him 1-on-1 outside on Nate Odoms also.
It's back to the ground for Bell, and he stopped short of the first down. Hanson and Talley made the tackle.
Darryl Talley shot the gap. Phil Hansen picked up the play on top of it. But Darryl Talley is the guy that made the play. Now the Raiders are going to have to punt the ball away again. Or are they? Yeah, they're going to punt it.
That's Jeff Gossett.
Well, they're looking for the Raiders want a measurement here. Boy, this is an awfully good mark. But it looks like the ball has to get to the other side of the 34-yard line.
Well, they are short. So Gossett will punt away. Archell glancing at the clock, 10:20 remaining in the fourth quarter. The Buffalo Bills with a 29-23 lead on the Los Angeles Raiders.
Marv, this clock doesn't mean a thing in this ball game right now because the Buffalo Bills, they have that K-gun, that hurry-up offense. So what they got to worry about is don't look at the clock. You got to look at your defense to figure out a way to stop the Buffalo Bills, because if they put another touchdown up on the board, you're going to have a tough time beating this team.
Fifth punt of the day for Gossett. Line drives to Copeland. And carried out of bounds across the 20. That will go down as a 47-yard punt.
This is Chris Collinsworth back in Buffalo. I just saw Pete Metzelaars in the locker room. He had a compound dislocation of the little finger on his left hand. The bone actually broke through the skin. They reset it, stitched it up. He said he did not know whether or not he could continue to play. Marv?
All right, Chris, and Keith McKellar, who has come on for Pete Metzelaars, makes the catch. Stopped by Winston Moss and Mike Jones. Third catch of the day for McKellar.
And Thurman Thomas, we found out he has a slight concussion. Don't know if he can return in the ball game.
Second down and 3 from the 25-yard line. Kenneth Davis to the outside. Davis replacing the injured Thurman Thomas, and he brings it to the marker at the far side of the field.
You know, with Kenneth Davis in the ball game, they really don't lose a lot. You know, everybody talks about the great Thurman Thomas and all the yardage he gets both catching the ball and running with the ball. But this young man here gives him 100% every time he's in the ball game. And again, I said before, he knows his role, and that's behind Thurman Thomas. And when they put him in, he loves the play.
And Davis picked up the first down at the 29. Now Kelly off the short set. Throws the bullet to Brooks. He fumbled, or was he down? Let's see how they roll it. Dorn made the stop. Well, apparently he was down, and the ball is brought back to the 39-yard line.
Again, I was talking about looking at the clock with Art Shell. Forget about the clock. You got to figure out a way to stop these guys. Here it is. Brooks is going down. He runs about a 7-yard pattern, then picks up another, or 6-yard pattern, picks up another 2 or 3 yards, and they're almost in first down range. They're going to measure this thing, but you've got to get up on these guys, and what they've got to do is get some heat on Kelly. If you let Jim Kelly stand back there and throw the ball, he'll have a 300-yard game. He had 253 going into this series of downs.
And it is a Buffalo first down. Strong game for Bill Brooks, making his 6th catch. Jim Kelly, 15 of 21 in the second half. Hey, 10 of 12 is not bad, but obviously he's gotten more accomplished with 173 yards and the 2 touchdowns to Brooks. 8:40 remaining in the fourth quarter. Kelly on first down. Hit from behind, and he is hauled down. Anthony Smith. Apparently Fina, off the fake, was able to come up with it.
The ball gets knocked loose, and it ends up in Fina's hands. And look at these guys. Nothing shakes them. They're still in the hurry-up offense. Here goes Kelly. First down.
I want to get another look at that play. Kenneth Davis on the carry, stopped by Winston Moss. All right, here it is now.
All right, Kelly's hit from behind by Anthony Smith. And the ball bounces back into Fina's hands. He just takes the ball and goes down and picks up a first down.
Nice run by the left tackle, John Fina.
Like the way he tucked that thing away.
Bills by 1, movement. On the line, Howie Long jump. Let's see if he was drawn.
You know, Howie Long has got to settle down. What Howie Long is trying to do is make something happen by himself. You don't do that.
Before the ball is snapped, encroachment, number 75, 5 yards, touchdown!
Defenses as a unit make things happen. Individually, you don't do that. Here he is. He's over the center. There's no movement. Why he's offside, I don't know. This is the 4th time in this ball game. You've got to play the defense, but I think they're going to have to put some blitzes in.
It's the first down at the 38-yard line. And Kelly's pass intended for Andre Reed broken up.
Terry McDaniel, number 36, in on the play. First time they've had coverage. They're going short on the play, but I mean this. I think the Raiders, they're not even getting close to Kelly, really, with a 4-man rush. They've got to send some people in his face, at least fake a blitz.
It's a 2nd and 10 at the 38 with 7.5 minutes remaining. And a fumble. Jim Kelly able to cover up.
You know, that time they actually had a blitz called, the Raiders. Watch Joe Kelly, 57. He'll turn around and he sees the ball, but not because the ball never gets off the ground back to Kelly. He gets the ball, but actually Joe Kelly was in a blitz formation.
Things getting a little sloppy for the Buffalo offense. 3rd down, 15, deep drop, setting up the screen, and Davis bobbled it. It is ruled incomplete.
Boy, that time the Raiders came, and they came again with Joe Kelly, number 57. They put some heat on Jim Kelly, and that's what you really have to do. They come right up the middle with it. Howie Long is moving. Devlin comes over to help out, and look at the force. Howie Long is there. There is Joe Kelly, 57. Davis, the ball hits him in the hands, but the tackle by Mike Jones keeps Davis from getting the ball. The Bills have to punt.
Chris Moore back at his 43, 3rd punt of the day. Tim Brown let it go. And it carries out inside the 5. A beautiful punt. But a penalty marker is down.
It's against the Bills.
Holding, number 55 on the offense. 10 yards, still 4th down.
I'll tell you, this talk about benefiting a team. That ball was out of bounds at the 4-yard line, and Mark Maddox is the left up back on this formation, and they get him for holding. Maddox is sitting right in here. Here comes the blitz. That's Hoskins. That's a takedown. That's when you do wrestling, you'll know what that is. That's a takedown.
I don't think I'm planning on it, Paul.
Wait, you do everything else, don't you?
All right, Moore will punt from his 33-yard line. And again, Brown is back. Brown took a good shot as he crossed the 25-yard line. A 34-yard punt and a 6-yard return.
From the 26 for Los Angeles.
Permitting, we'll hear from Buddy Ryan and Marcus Allen. That's coming up following the game. First down from the 26. Hostetler goes sideline, only a short pickup, combining with James Jett, covered by Nate Odoms.
Nate Odoms, all-pro guy going to the Pro Bowl. James Jett on the outside. I think he respects his speed. Look at this. Nate's giving him a 10-yard cushion. But he's just sitting there, a little short stuff. That sets it up to go deep, and I don't think Nate Odom's going to buy it. He's going to stay back. If you're going to beat Nate Odoms on today's game, you're going to beat him short. You're not going to beat him deep.
Only the first reception for Jett. Raiders at one point led 17-6 in the second quarter. Game that's seen 5 lead changes. Now Hostetler going deeper, almost intercepted. Or is it? Let's see. No, it looked like he short-hopped it.
You know who was covering him? Cornelius Bennett covering James Jett. They even lined up on James Jett. Cornelius Bennett almost made the interception. Now, I know Cornelius Bennett is fast. We know James Jett is fast. But I don't know if Cornelius Bennett is that fast. Here comes the ball down. Look at this. Cornelius Bennett downfield. The ball bounces back up inside. There's no chance. But that was Cornelius Bennett covering James Jett.
And Paul, Jeff Hostetler has been intercepted only one time the last 7 games. Bills 29, Raiders 23. It's a 3rd and 7. Look out, Hostetler is taken down by Bruce Smith.
Well, Bruce Wilkerson was blocking, and that chant, Bruce, was not for Bruce Wilkerson. It was for Bruce Smith. Here they come. Total. Is this a mismatch? Look at this. That arm swing around. Wilkerson needed some help. Didn't get any. Bruce Smith makes the play. Outstanding.
Second sack of the day by Bruce Smith. 6 minutes remaining in the 4th quarter. And Gossett back to punt. Copeland waits at his 40. Line drive kick again. It is only a 29-yard punt. Buffalo Bills will return to the offense. Well, with that last sack by Bruce Smith, his 2nd of the game, he has now emerged as the all-time leader in postseason play. 11 sacks in 14 games.
And here's a situation where the Raiders realistically have to stop the Buffalo Bills on the first series of downs here. They cannot let them get a first down, because if they do, the Bills are going to be able to really run the clock out.
First down at the 43. Read at the top of your screen. Beatty split to the left. It's Davis replacing the injured Thurman Thomas. Picked up 2, gets to the 45. Mike Jones had the wraps on Kenneth Davis. There's Thurman Thomas. Right now the Bills are going with a combination of Kenneth Davis and Carwell Gardner.
Now you can do some replays, because they're going to slow it down. It's the only time you can do replays on the Bills when they're ahead in the 4th quarter and they're trying to kill the clock, and that's exactly what they're doing. But the Raiders are bringing 7 guys up onto the line of scrimmage. They are now blitzing people.
Paul, with such a production sense, helping out the guys in the truck. It's Gardner stopped at the line by Winston Moss.
Nice read by Winston Moss. Play action, little bootleg by Kelly to throw out to Carwell Gardner. Here it is. Little fake. Play action, bootleg back. Fina's there blocking, and watch Winston Moss. Gardner catches. Washington's there, and then Winston Moss also with the play. Washington's the guy that really stood him up for Moss to make the play.
It is spotted as a 3rd down and 6. Jim Kelly, 26 of 36. Looking at 4:20 remaining. There's the movement. Penalty markers down, and Kelly completes to Brooks for a first down, but let's see what this flag is about.
This time they stopped it before the play started. Howie Long again was the man that's involved.
Encroachment. Number 74 on the defense before the stop. 5 yards.
Well, they get Harrison and Howie Long. Harrison may be the guy that pulls Howie Long off. over the top of the center. Can I do this? Here's Harrison. Here's Long. They're both going to go. Look at Howie's first. Number 75, Howie Long, is the first guy through, but Harrison is the guy that makes contact.
And penalties have hurt the Raiders here today. 9 for 77 yards. Buffalo only 2 for 15.
And again, you know, we talked to Art Shell about this, and he said, you know, the things that, the mental ones we can correct. Because we asked him about 17 penalties last week, and if you're watching Art Shell and you're watching Reed his lips right there, he says, watch the ball. I mean, you got the 2 tackles that are over the ball. Look at the ball.
3rd and 1. Slashing move by Davis. He has a first down.
And John Davis is getting up slow. I mean, you know, you think about this hurry-up offense, the K gun of the Buffalo Bills, and they say, you know, it tires out the defense. It also tires out the offense. I don't care what anybody says. You're talking about these guys are trying to breathe down there. It's -2 degrees. They're trying to get their breath. Now they're going back into the huddle. But these guys have been moving all game long.
Offensive line of John Fina. Howard battled at the tackles. Len Parker, John Davis at the guards. Kent Hull is the center. Here's Kelly moving out of trouble. And then hit down at the 46. Townsend and Jones combined on the tackle.
Yeah, Townsend trying to take Kelly's head off. Jones makes the tackle, and Townsend comes around and tries to rip Kelly's helmet off. Here goes Kelly to try to run a screen out to his left. That screen is covered. Kelly goes up. Jones makes the play here. Now watch Townsend, 93. Let's try to rip his head a little bit. Kelly ducked out of the way, but the clock is running. We're going inside 3 minutes.
2nd down and 10. Again, the rush. Davis off the screen. Kenneth Davis put the speed on and has a Buffalo first down. He went for 17 yards.
When I told you about Kenneth Davis, that he gives you 100% all the time, and that's all you can actually give is 100%. Kenneth Davis, he again knows his role. This play was a little slip pass out to Kenneth Davis. This is a screen. Watch this. He sets up in the middle. Here's the screen. The lineman release. But here's the move that he makes. Back to his right and just outruns the defense. Stays inbounds. Most importantly, stays inbounds.
Buffalo with a 29-23 lead. Moving ahead on a go-ahead touchdown as Kelly hit Brooks. And now Davis seeing the bulk of the action as he runs to the 25-yard line. And we approach 2 minutes remaining. Raiders take a timeout. They stop the clock with 2:06 to go in the 4th. The Bills took over with 5:42 remaining in this 4th quarter at their own 43, and they have held onto the ball. Jeff Hostetler coming out in most unusual fashion during the timeout. The quarterback is out to try to spark the defense.
Well, and you know, you can imagine what he says. We don't know what he said. He'll tell everybody afterwards, but he goes, they said, look, and stop these guys, get the ball, and we can score. We've got enough firepower to score. We need you to stop it. And that's something that they haven't been able to do in the second half. They have really not slowed down the Buffalo Bills.
Bills 29, Raiders 23. And once again, Kenneth Davis gets the call. Short of the first down, 2-minute warning. We'll be back in a moment. For the past 6 years, the Buffalo Bills have led the NFL in attendance, averaging more than 77,000 per game, despite the -2 degrees temperature today. This is almost a packed house. And Davis has the first down. 61,923 on hand here at Rickman Stadium, and they have seen the Buffalo Bills come from behind, down 17-6 in the second quarter. 5 lead changes throughout the day, and the Bills have a 29-23 lead, a minute and a half remaining in the fourth quarter, and they now have a first down at the Raider 17.
You know what's amazing about it? In the first half, the Raiders had 14 first downs, and the first downs don't count as touchdowns. They have 15 total. They have one first down in the second half. Now, that 86-yard touchdown run with Brown, that's considered the first down. They have one first down. The Buffalo Bills defense, they have done a job along with the offense.
And a timeout is called with a minute 8 remaining fourth quarter.
The Buffalo Bills just have to put the ball down, take a knee twice, and the Raiders can take one more timeout. They have 4 downs. This game is over.
Raiders took a long time before calling for that timeout. A lot of time running off.
Well, the question is, they were fighting. The Raiders were fighting on that last play. They thought they had a fumble on the play, and they didn't have one. Anthony Smith had the ball in his hand. They were talking to the referee saying we had a fumble that Kenneth Davis fumbled the ball, which he didn't do, and they just let the clock run down, whether they didn't pay attention to the sideline and look over there. I mean, the coach calls the timeout. Now take a look at this at the end of the play. Now here goes Davis up inside. Hit there, long hits him. Anthony Smith goes down. Now Davis is tackled. There's the ball on the ground. It's not a fumble. But what happens is that Anthony Smith grabs the ball. And the Raiders are all standing around, think they got a fumble. They didn't have one.
So first down at the 17, and Jim Kelly kneeling down. Timeout stops the clock with a minute 4 remaining. The executive producer of NBC Sports is Tommy Roy. We thank our producer of today's game, David Deal. Today's game directed by Richard Klein, the associate director, Jeffrey Simon, production associate Bill Herbstman, technical director Phil Doucette, production manager Sally Hughes, Kathy Crowder, technical manager Bill Paranello, our statistician Mr. Stats himself, Elliot Kalb. The coordinating producer of the NFL on NBC is John Paratis, and we thank our spotters, Michael Gluck, Steve Solomon, stage manager Colleen Brennan. A minute 4 remaining in this fourth quarter, and the Buffalo Bills on their way to going on to host the winner of tomorrow's Kansas City-Houston divisional playoff. So the Bills take another step in the direction of a 4th trip to the Super Bowl.
And when you look at the Raiders, and one of the things that we talked about before, 17 penalties last week, a lot of penalties in this ball game. A couple of them gave automatic first downs to the Buffalo Bills in drives on third down situations. I mean, just a lot of mistakes by the Raiders. The Raiders dominated the first half, but there's 60 minutes of football. The Buffalo Bills took the second half and just destroyed the Raiders.
Jim Kelly, 27 for 37, 287 yards, 2 touchdowns. A superb afternoon. The Bills go to 7-0 in playoff games here at Rich Stadium. And for the Los Angeles Raiders, who had a splendid season, it is now concluded. They had won 5 of the last 6. They go 10-6 in the regular season. But Buffalo will move on, and they will face the winner of tomorrow's game between the Chiefs and the Hot Oilers. Time has run out. The Buffalo Bills coming from behind, and they have defeated the Los Angeles Raiders 29-23. Hope you stay with us on the post-game report. It'll be Jim Lampley, Mike Ditka, and Joe Gibbs in the studio, and we'll have post-game interviews with O.J. Simpson and Chris Collinsworth. We'll also be hearing from the very low-key Buddy Ryan and Marcus Allen on the post-game show. Marv Albert, Paul McGuire here at Rich Stadium in Buffalo. -2 degrees, the latest temperature that we report to you. And on this bitter cold day, Jim Kelly and the Bills have knocked off the Raiders to advance in the playoffs.